CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Every team faces the runner's choice: hit the wall and crumble, or bust through and reach the other side.
Touchdown! The Patriots win!
It took a broken bone to prove what was already true. Drew Bledsoe is one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and now he has the Patriots sprinting towards the playoffs.
How about Drew Bledsoe?
And welcome back to the Trans World Dome. The Rams have won the toss, and Adam Vinatieri, getting the football ready, will kick off for the Patriots. Dangerous guy is back for the Rams. Number 82, a rookie, Tony Horn. 2 weeks ago, he broke one for 102 yards and a touchdown against Atlanta. Now had a 64-yard return in that game. He's a free agent from Clemson, and he can run fast. Spinning kick will carry down to the 5-yard line. Here comes Tony Horn. Excellent special teams play by New England. Antti Skarnecchia has his guys ready as the knockdown's made inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. We check the starting lineup. Tony Banks, only 6 touchdowns. That's it so far this season, but he can throw the long ball, strong of arm. Up front, a big offensive line led by Orlando Pace, the #1 pick in the draft 3 years ago out of Ohio State. June Henley will start his first game at tailback. Watch out for Az Hakim, a very fast wide receiver. They might be looking to go deep early, and we're told they might be going to a shotgun early, and they come right out without a huddle. Banks out of Michigan State. Strong arm. Has had big problems in the first quarter. Patriots put the heat on. Banks fires. Drops have been a problem, but not that time, as coming off the flank was Amp Lee. The running back makes his 50th catch of the year, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line.
Don, there's a big reason for this hurry-up offense. They believe that Tony Banks, well, this is the type of thing he ran at Michigan State. He's very comfortable making audibles out of this formation.
First down. Banks again. Fires again. Here's the drop that has plagued this team as June Henley, coming out of the backfield, drops the ball. Second down and 10. There's Dick Vermeil. He is 8-21 in his 2 years at St. Louis, but his team's only won 9 games their first 2 years at Philadelphia. Third year they're in the playoffs, 5th year in the Super Bowl. Barrett Collins, Chad Eaton, a couple of pass rushers up front along with Henry Thomas. As Banks looking to throw again, swings it out, gets his running back Amp Lee. Running hard, Amp Lee, an All-American at Florida State, is out to the 36-yard line. And that'll bring up third down. The tackle made by Henry Thomas, 95. Pete Carroll under fire when the team was 5-5, but they've proven they want to play and win for Pete Carroll, as the Patriots beating 3 tough opponents the last 3 weeks. They get 8-5. Now on third down. Patriots aligned to blitz. Banks looks, fires, makes the connection. Ricky Proehl. He's out to the 48-yard line. A first down on the play as Proehl makes his 50th catch of the year, good for a 13-yard gain. The tackle by Malloy.
Ricky Proehl is a fantastic acquisition for this football team. Not a big money free agent, but this is a guy that has come into this team and produced.
Rams coming out into hurry-up offense, no huddle. Patriots not able to get people on defense switched, not able to change their defensive packages. Now Banks changes the call. Rams come in at 3-10. They've lost 4 straight. Here's a throw over the middle. June Henley hangs on this time and cracks the Patriot defense for a gain of 14 yards. He's down to the 38-yard line.
Now this is a slow, hurry-up offense. The reason I call it slow is that Tony Banks is walking around to his receivers and running backs and calling the play right now as they walk up to the huddle. You look at his eyes, what he's doing is he's trying to get a pre-snap read, trying to figure out what defense they're going to give him.
And again, Banks takes a look. Long ball, there it goes. Hakeem is open, but he can't get to the ball. The flyer we told you about in his rookie year out of San Diego State, Azahir Hakeem. And Tebucky Jones was covering him as best he could, but he was beaten, Beasley.
Now, this is one of the things that It's killing Tony Banks. This is a perfect throw right through the arms of the wide receiver. And I tell you, if they say the name Tony Banks inside of this Trans World Dome, there will be a chorus of boos. But this is what's happening to the kid. They're dropping balls.
First quarter has been a killer for the Rams. They've been outscored 110-17 in the first quarter of the season. Another throw, incomplete. He can catch the ball and then go with it. He's down inside the 30. Second down and 10 play. He's ahead for a gain of almost 9 yards before he's taken down on the play by linebacker Chris Slade.
Now that time there was a corner blitz on the play. So Bucky Jones lined up like he was going to cover and then attacked from the outside, and Tony Banks made a great look. Found the adjustment.
The Patriots, of course, without their best defender, middle linebacker Ted Johnson, gone for the season. Another of the inevitable drops. June Henley is 1 for 3 when they've gone to him. 1 for a first down and 2 drops. That brings up 4th down and 3, and they're sending in a power package. Is their kicker coming out? Yeah, he is. They're going to go for the field goal try.
Now, one of the reasons that Tony Banks is getting a lot of drops is that he puts the ball sometimes in a position where the receiver is going to get killed. Henley, had he caught that, would be taking oxygen right now.
Wilkins, the place kicker, spins the kick up and through. So Jeff Wilkins and the Rams get a big ovation here at the Trans World Dome. They don't score often in the first quarter. When they do, they're tough to beat. A 48-yard field goal by Jeff Wilkins on the opening possession gives the underdog Rams a 3-0 lead on their home field. And now Wilkins is ready to kick off.
For this team, the Rams, to come down and get a score in the first quarter is phenomenal. This team has been horrible when it comes to offense in the first quarter, so this is very encouraging for the Rams.
Here's the kick, a high spinning kick coming down. Derek Cullers from the 1-yard line. Markers down as Cullers takes it out to the 28-yard line. Jay Williams brought him down for the St. Louis Rams. But as you see, we have a holding call signal.
There almost always is a holding call on these kicks.
Holding number 54 of the receiving team during the return. 5 yards, correction, 10 yards, it'll be first down.
And the reason, and I talked to a couple of special teams coaches about this, the kickoff, return, and coverage, that's the only thing you cannot practice full speed on a pro football team. It's just too dangerous, and the guys won't run it fast enough. So the speed changes in the football game. As a result, we've got a lot of penalties this year.
Well, that's a very good point. They don't practice covering kickoffs because you're going to have a half a roster if you do. Bledsoe and the Patriots start their first possession down 3-0 at their 14-yard line. Robert Edwards, the rookie runner, nothing. Rams have a good defensive front. Their defense grades out number 10 in the NFL. DeMarco Farr, a quick tackle from Washington, stopped him. Bledsoe is completing, believe it or not, 64% of his passes since he's hurt the finger. Armstrong and Moss, the tackles, with 22 years of experience between them. Edwards, the rookie runner. Terry Glenn, 24 catches in his last 3 games. They could be going to Glenn right now on 2nd down and 9. Bledsoe looks. He throws. Intercepted. Todd Light has the ball for the Rams. He's inside the 15-yard line. A sure thing, it is not. A dangerous game for the Patriots, and they're in trouble early after Light intercepts and runs it back 11 yards.
See, this comes up when you lose your tight end, Ben Coates. This is normally Ben Coates. Right now, it's Levitt Purnell playing in his place. It's a good pattern, but the Rams are all over it. You get the tip. Todd Light is right there with a great catch. Defensive backs work that tip drill all the time. This is a major turnover in this football game. Rams are a good team that lacks confidence and makes a lot of mistakes. You don't want to get a team like this rolling.
Well, they're starting to roll early as they go 1st and 10 at the 14. Ben Coates not here, absent because of the recent death of his mom. He's down in South Carolina for the funeral. Hits back to June Henley, and he's inside the 10-yard line. A gain on the play of about 6 yards. Tackled by Steve Israel.
This is a momentous day for June Henley. It's his first start in the National Football League. He is so excited about it. Last week he got to play a little bit, 53 yards, but his first time starting as a pro, and he couldn't be more excited.
Out of the University of Kansas, he's had some big games in his career as a player at Kansas. Ran for 145 yards in one game when the Jayhawks almost upset Nebraska. Throw and a catch, heading to the end zone. He's in standing up. 9 yards and a touchdown. Beasley, you talked about the Rams building momentum early. Well, they're coming downhill like a 16-wheeler right now.
They are in an offense right now that Tony Banks is very comfortable with. Very similar to the way he ran it in college. He's able to audible at the line of scrimmage. He was so excited, and they were nice enough to tell us that they were going to do this hurry up kind of no huddle, trusting us, Don, with that information, and we certainly kept it to ourselves. Boy, they're doing a great job with it. They are that. The first quarter has been a nemesis. They've scored 17 points in the previous 13 games in the first quarter. A total of 17. They've already scored 10 today in the first quarter, and we've got a long way to go in it. With 10-12 to play in the first quarter, the Rams beating the favorite Patriots 10-0. We'll be back with another St. Louis kickoff in a moment. St. Louis, Missouri, gateway to the West, and today it's a great day for the Rams. Early on, they lead 10-0 over the favorite Patriots. Wilkins kicks off again. A deep kick. Derek Keller 5 yards deep in his wisdom after he was stopped the last time. Then there was the blocking foul. He downs the ball and assures the Patriots of a start at their 20-yard line. So Bledsoe and the offense come back out. Dick Vermeil, who was away from the coaching racket for 15 years, he's back in it. Has been under fire here in St. Louis. They won 5 games last year. They've won 3 so far this year. Still with 3 years to go on his contract. There's been a lot of talk that he'd not be back if this season continues to go as it has. 8-21. We could sense yesterday, Beasley, this team was ready to do something. No, that's a team still fighting. He said they worked very hard in practice, and we're seeing some good effort early on today.
They should have practiced long enough. Here's Bledsoe firing out the flat. Terry Glenn caught from behind. He does get the first down. And were it not for that diving attempt by Ryan McNeil to get him ankle high, a 13-yard gain might have been a distance goer.
This was also almost an interception. Take a look at number 47, Ryan McNeil. Now he will slide out. He's got him man for man. He jumps, and see, Ryan's a short guy. Drew put that right over the top of his head. And you're right, because that kid, Terry Glenn, can fly. You let him get loose, it's over.
One-on-one with Terry Glenn. A terrible mistake by any defense as the Steelers straight-fronted last week. And Glenn destroyed them. 9 catches for 193, including an 87-yard touchdown. Robert Edwards runs as the Patriots continue to try to get a running game going with little luck. This year's player spotlight on NFL.com profiles Raiders defensive tackle Darrell Russell. Plus, get updated stats through Week 15 at www.nfl.com. Rams rush the passer. Bledsoe. Edwards finds a gap. He's open. He's gone. Can they get him? Speed is after him. Todd lights a flyer and gets him from behind, but all the way around the 10-yard line. As Robert Edwards almost breaks at the distance. As it was, he goes 53 yards for the Patriots.
The great runners are cutback runners. I don't care who it is. He's going to start out here, break it back, and find, this is what I call the back door. And watch Robert Edwards. It's a nice little play. Finds it. Here is the back door. You hit that back door, you've got the entire defense going one direction. Running back breaks the other. Todd Light very lucky to catch it.
Hand off to Edwards. Both arms on the ball, and then the umpire fires in a penalty marker, which often indicates an offensive foul. Holding. Big confidence builder for Robert Edwards as he has struggled in the recent games. Had 28 carries against the Steelers last week. Helped him to a big-time possession.
Number 64.
Robert Edwards with the 53-yard of it. Now the holding call. And that sets the Patriots back outside their 20-yard line.
This game is so big.
The Rams.
You take a look at the numbers of Edwards, and boy, it's just like a steady. It's like he's dropping off a cliff. So to get off to a good start with that nice run, as you mentioned, Don, a real confidence builder for Robert Edwards. They need him today.
Terry Glenn goes in the slot at your top of your screen. Second receiver down. Here's Bledsoe taking a look. Lobbing a long ball. Goes for his man and it's incomplete. As coming out of the backfield was Cedric Shaw. They tried to get him on a fade pattern in the end zone. So all of a sudden it looked like a touchdown drive. Seems to be in trouble.
I tell you, that's a nightmare for a linebacker. Basically what Drew tried to do was to get a running back in a one-on-one situation with Mike A. Jones. Mike A. Jones is saying a prayer right now that that ball was thrown high and a little bit out of bounds, because, I mean, I don't care. Talk to any linebacker. Finding yourself one-on-one with a running back is what you lay awake at night praying not to happen.
Well, let's see if they can get that matchup again. Second down. Bledsoe stands in. He throws, and it's nowhere near as he was looking to a slant in, and Glenn did a turn out. So now third down arises from the 20-yard line.
The Terry Glenn factor on this football team is gigantic. Basically, it breaks down to this. When he plays, they win. When he does not play, they struggle.
Yeah, there's 70% wins when he's in the lineup, 50% wins when he's not. They score 26 points a game when he's in. They score 18 points a game when he's not. He is a difference maker. Terry Glenn. Rams have a good pass rush. Third and goal. Bledsoe stands in. He fires. He's got a man. And it's broken up beautifully. A tremendous play by linebacker Mike Jones from Missouri, who the Ram players all call their spiritual leader. He really rallies this team, practices harder than everybody else, a difference maker, and he breaks up what looked like a touchdown throw.
I tell you, I have goosebumps. This was a play. I talked about Mike A. Jones dreaming not to be left one-on-one. You also dream about positive things like this. I mean, clearly the receiver behind everyone, and Mike A. Jones comes out of nowhere to tap it down.
Vinatieri tries the field goal. He spins it up, and Adam Vinatieri knocks it through. So the Patriots, after the big run from scrimmage by Robert Edwards, do get points. They still trail by a touchdown. Vinatieri now with 106 points for the season. With Peasley Reese, this is Don Criqui back at the Trans World Dome. A very expensive holding call on Dave Woolabaugh. The Patriots center setting him back. Looked like they were going to go in for a touchdown. They had to settle for a Vinatieri field goal. And here come the Rams. Up back, London Fletcher. And he fights his way out to the 28-yard line. Fletcher, a free agent from Little John Carroll College. He was up and on an up-back return. He was there to block. Gets the ball out to the 28. Banks confident has to be up, Beasley.
No, he's running an offense that he likes. He's running an offense that he's very familiar with. And the big thing is that he audibles. He can call his own audibles out of this offense.
Rams playing without the huddle. Patriots are coming after him now. They go to the blitz. Here's a marker down as Henley breaks a big one. June Henley. His name is Charles Henley Jr. They call him June. Mentioned at the outset, grew up in his parents helped raise Terry Glenn after Terry's mother was murdered when he was 13 years old. So he and Glenn are really brothers. 21-yard gain on the play.
I tell you, that's a commitment. I mean, you can see somebody taking care of a kid who's in trying times for a few weeks, but for 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
And while he was in college, he would go home to the Henley household.
Yeah, even when he was at Ohio State, he had a room in an apartment on campus, but he stayed at the Henleys.
They are brothers. They call one another. When they speak of one another, they talk about my brother.
Right on the same high school team in Columbus, Ohio. Banks doing a great job throwing the ball. 6 of 9 for 60 yards and a touchdown. Banks again takes a look. Good hit put on by Henry Thomas. 12-year veteran from LSU makes the knockdown at the 48-yard line. A loss of a couple of plays. 41st time that he's been sacked this year, Tony Banks.
And Don, one of the reasons this June Henley story is so great today, his first ever NFL start, and he starts when he's playing against his brother. It's unbelievable.
There they are. There's the Henleys. Terry Glenn on the left. Mary and Charles Henley Sr. and June Henley in the middle between his mom and dad. Terry Glenn warned June Henley, though June told us, he said, "My wheels feel great." He said, "Look out." Here's a throw in the flat. The tight end, the rookie from Syracuse, makes the catch. Roland Williams. And he gets it down to the 41-yard line. So the Rams, a team with an inept, hopeless offense most of the season, looked like a playoff team today.
Also, it's a team that you can see people diving around trying to make plays.
QB comparison so far. A tremendous breakup of the last throw by Bledsoe into the end zone before the field goal. Saved the touchdown. Banks, meanwhile, hitting 70%.
Well, you know, right now you have to wonder how Drew's finger is feeling.
Exactly.
He's got a new prosthetic device on it today. They're trying everything.
Third and short, they go to the fullback, and Derek Harris, who rarely gets the ball, comes close to a first down. Linesmen come in. Henry Thomas and Chris Sullivan combined on the stop. Dick Vermeer, we asked him if the game has changed much in the 15 years he was away. He said the number one thing is the size of players, the size of contracts, and the complexity of the defenses. When he was in the Super Bowl, he said his biggest player was 276 pounds. He said now you have linebackers and tight ends bigger than that.
Yeah, his offensive tackle, Stan Walters, was 276 pounds, and he was a mountain of a man. I played against him. He would frighten you when he walked on the field. He would be a child out here today.
Good job by the Patriot D. They shut down the run, and so short yardage coming up on third down. We have 5:18 still to be played in the first quarter. Patriots come in with a 3-game winning streak. Rams come in losers of 4 straight, but as we mentioned at the outset, they routed the Jets here 30-10. They beat the Bills at Buffalo, the Rams did. And the Vikings were very lucky to get out with a last-moment touchdown with a win.
Well, now this is a 4th and about 2 inches, Don, maybe 3 inches. And you know, this offense has done a good job in this game, and I agree with this. Go for it. They've got their confidence going. Build on it.
4th and inches for St. Louis. Pitch back. Henley. That's going to be close. He got it.
That is not the play that I would have called.
He didn't get it. Patriots don't think so. Their offense starts to come out.
They didn't get close. There's no way you call a wide toss play at 4th and inches. You got a 6'4" stud-looking quarterback. Quarterback sneak it, or let him pound it right in, right behind those that big tight end.
Why make a 15-yard looping run to the outside when you have a few inches to go up the middle?
No, it just makes no sense. I don't understand that.
Bledsoe apparently Beasley is indeed having problems with his throwing hand, as one of the team physicians now escorting him off the field. He had 2 pins inserted this week at Mass General in his throwing hand, his index finger, that trigger finger. So now Zolak starts to warm up.
Well, we rode on the elevator with Scott Zolak's dad, and his dad said he thought he might play this week. But then the prosthetic device and in practice, Drew looked pretty good, so he thought he wouldn't get to play. Now it looks like
Bledsoe's been so magnificent the last 3 games. It's really been the making of a legend, the way he's played. Drew Bledsoe rising up when it seemed he was in deep trouble with the hand injury. Versus Miami, that fabulous game. Then versus Buffalo, 65% completions in that last-moment winning touchdown throw. And then again last week against the Steelers, 327 yards passing. But now Bledsoe's out. Zolak's in, and he's throwing right away. He's in trouble. Ball on the field. It's live. And the Rams have it.
This starts off bad, Don. Zolak is going to fake to the wrong side. I mean, that shows you that he's coming in the game a little bit confused. See how he did the little half-hearted fake? The running back was on the other side of him. So when he turned forward, man, the Rams have been played defensively, offensively. This team is getting after it.
That is only the 6th fumble the Patriots have lost all season. It's a big loss, though. Rams have it at the 11-yard line. Banks to the end zone. Incomplete.
Tell you what I like about Tony Banks. He looks very comfortable. He's in no hurry.
There was Ray Agnew on the previous play that forced the fumble, the former Patriot #1 draft choice. And the rookie Grant Wistrom, who's starting to get more playing time, gets his first fumble recovery. And now the Rams, after the incomplete pass, have the ball 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
For New England fans, we are being told that they are readjusting and checking Drew Bledsoe's splint. He does not have a new injury.
Banks, quick drop, tip ball, incomplete. Beautiful coverage on Prohl by Ty Law. And Banks hammered hard. He's down. The quarterback for the Rams is down, writhing in pain. So we'll see how Tony Banks is. He's holding his left leg. Patriots defense coming at him with a vengeance. He's been hit a lot this year, sacked 41 times already. Watch now.
Just everything collapses on his left leg. Boy, that's a nightmare. Now, number one, this shouldn't happen to Miller. See, this is, oh my goodness, this is a 3-step drop done. It's got to be the safest thing in the book. 1, 2, 3, ball is gone. You know, his offensive lineman let him down that time.
Henry Thomas was blocked to his knees but kept his pursuit up, and when he came in, he got Banks knee high, and now the veteran Steve Bono warms up.
Don Fred Miller, number 73, cannot allow himself to be blocked back, driven back into the quarterback on a 3-step drop. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's got to be the easiest play. Normally the offensive lineman will cut the defensive lineman to make them put their hands down to protect their legs.
So there's a timeout on the field. 4:36 to go in the first quarter. To the ground and got up and kept pursuing him. There was no intent by Henry Thomas to injure him, but Banks, who was off to his best start of this season, appears to be in trouble now with a leg injury. And Steve Bono, a 14-year veteran from UCLA and a proven starter in the NFL, he's had a lot of playing time, is ready to work the offense.
Well, I'll tell you what Bono is, really, he's a proven backup. I mean, when he really got the chance to be the starting guy, he kind of stumbled on himself a little bit. But this is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. Some guys are best coming off the bench, and Bono's one of them.
Now, while we have a moment, let's go to New York and to Jim Nance. Jim?
All right, Don, we talked about Fred Taylor, the rookie phenom, on the NFL Today. And here he is, cutting to the outside and finding the end zone. 10-0 Jags with a minute to go first quarter. And let's go back to Don and Beasley.
Thanks, Jim. This is Fred Taylor. He's been something. Fantastic rookie player for Jacksonville. This has been the wildest first quarter we've seen in some time, as the Rams came out a 3-10 team, ready to win and proving that they could do it. But then the guy who had the best start of maybe his whole career in this game, certainly of this season, 4th-year quarterback Tony Banks, goes down, hit while dropping to pass. And as you mentioned, Beasley, it was a short drop.
No, this is a 3-step drop. It should not happen. He was let down by his left guard, number 73, Fred Miller, who allowed himself to be driven back into the quarterback on a play that should take about 2 seconds to get out of the quarterback's hand.
Bitter irony that they're cheering Tony Banks because he's been booed so often here. He said one of his problems is this crowd is quick to get at him, and he might try to make things happen too much in the first quarter. The Rams have had 7 first-quarter turnovers that's really have hurt them in so many games. Today, Banks just brilliant early going with the no-huddle offense as some Patriots come over to wish him well. And the brotherhood of the NFL comes into play when somebody goes down with an injury.
There's no question about it. And I tell you what's really bad is that it happens here with a couple of games left in the season. Here's another look at it. That's number 73, Fred Miller. And when he goes up, I mean, you just can't, this can't happen. He cannot allow himself to be collapsed by Henry Thomas back into it. I know he feels bad about it, so I'll get off of it right now. But that's what happened. He allowed himself to be blocked back into his own quarterback. And Don, for a knee injury, I'm not going to, who knows the extent of the injury. So.
And our producer Al Szymanski has just been in touch with the Patriots locker room, a team of doctors looking at Drew Bledsoe. He's being re-x-rayed on his injured index finger on his throwing hand, and his return is uncertain at this point. So Bledsoe may have re-injured the hand. One thing we should know about Steve Bono, he's come in situations just like this a lot of times as a 14-year player, so he can heat up early. See what he goes to now on 3rd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. He's going to throw. He looks. End zone, and he throws it away. So the Rams will send out their field goal kicker and try to come away with this turnover, from this turnover, with 3 more points.
No, that's what you get when you get a veteran quarterback coming into the game. He knows he's not sharp. He knows he has not thrown a ball this season, so he very wisely throws that ball away to make sure that his team gets the 3 points out of this.
Jeff Wilkins ready to try the field goal. This will be from 29 yards. He hit a 48-yarder earlier. No, it's a fake. Looking for an open receiver, and there's none out there. Now an underhanded throw to the end zone. And a penalty marker, Tony. I don't know if he's over the line of scrimmage or not. Rick Tootin, the punter, was the holder. So the Rams, and you have to applaud them, pulling everything out of their bag of tricks.
I don't know. I think it might have been a blunder. Well, I didn't
now it certainly looks like one.
Well, I didn't see anybody out in the pattern. When it's a fake, you've got people running patterns. So as soon as it happened, my eyes went to the end zone to see who was breaking where.
Nothing but Patriots.
There was one Ram, and that's number 70, Wayne Grady, who was waving his arm. He's a tackle. So let's see if we see the blunder here, or if it's a fake. We'll find out. It's a blunder. You see that the snap was bobbled and dropped, and see there's nobody out in the pattern.
Well, what the penalty is very significant. Let's see what Jerry Austin has to say.
Number 70 was eligible. Therefore, there is no foul on the play, but we do have an incomplete pass. 1st down, New England.
So it is an incomplete pass. They thought there was an ineligible receiver downfield, but he reported, so he's eligible, number 70. And that means that the 4th down pass attempt is no good. Patriots take over the ball and duck the turnover without giving up points.
That was like a Dennis Eckersley throw.
Yeah, kind of a sidearm.
Dennis, who recently just retired.
Down 24 great years.
Great season. Great career.
Zola, hands off. Edwards slashes into the middle of the Ram defense. Just after that bungled play, we saw the sideline shot of Dick Vermeer where he asked the eternal question, what happened? Nothing good. And there's Eddie Kennison, one of his receivers, who has tremendous ability, but as Dick told us, limited confidence. He's just been dropping so many balls, and they just can't get an answer to it. They said there's nobody tougher out there, nobody faster, but his confidence is way down, and he's pressuring himself more and more, and the drops continue. 2nd down for Zolak. Bledsoe's hand is being re-examined. Look at Robert Edwards on the run across the 40. Again, Todd Light, the All-American from Notre Dame, finally cuts him down again, as he did after the 53-yard run. This is a 45-yarder. But all of a sudden, the Patriot running game, which has been moribund, explodes.
It's a lack of discipline. Let me tell you something. Most great offensive plays are a result of bad defense. This is once again another one of these backdoor plays because the Rams are not covering every gap. See the gap right there that they allowed open? That's a question of taking on the blocker with the correct shoulder, with the correct arm free. Based on the situation, the Rams have given up 2 big plays to the cutback.
Bledsoe throws it. Zolak firing in the flat, gets the ball to Cedric Shaw, comes in high and hard as Zolak has been under pressure, and he triggers it a bit too quickly and a bit too hard. But he's another backup quarterback who can play to win. 8-year veteran out of Maryland.
Well, he's putting
Robert Edwards. Look at him, Beasley.
Put that's a big number. That's a pretty good little average there.
Man.
5 rushes for 107 yards. Now
He's up to almost 900 yards for this his rookie season. Up to 879. And Cedric Shaw. Nothing happening there. Grant Wistrom, number 1 draft choice out of Nebraska, who recovered the fumble, makes the knockdown, 98. Now Derek Cullors comes in. I think he should play all the time, and a lot more than he does. He's a tremendous player. Every time he touches the ball, something good happens.
Well, I tell you, the really interesting thing to watch now is how Scott Zolak responds to this. I won't call it an opportunity because no one wants to see Bledsoe hurt with this situation.
Again, repeating, Bledsoe's injured finger is being re-examined, re-x-rayed, and doctors are looking at it. There was motion on the left side. It looked like Bruce Armstrong, Pro Bowl tackle, got into his blocking stance early, and it could be a motion penalty that'll set the ball back.
False start. Number 78. 5 yards.
Start by
It's still third
left
down.
tackle Bruce Armstrong, and so the Patriots now have the ball set back to the 43-yard line of the St. Louis Rams.
Now Zolak at one point was the golden child of this organization. He was given the starting shot, did a pretty good job, and when they got the opportunity to get Bledsoe, no one's going to pass up on that. So Scott Zolak is a very good football player. He's just got to show that he can stand up now while they're looking at Bledsoe.
Glenn goes in motion. They want to get the ball to him. Rams might be offside here as they whistle the play dead. Somebody was committed an infraction before the snap of the ball.
5 yards. It's still
The Rams are drawn offside.
That's a
Carroll looking for answers.
Well, this is one of the new rules in the National Football League, and it's very difficult. You can't. The defense cannot make the offense move. Now you see defensive players at the right-hand side of your screen.
That's neutral zone infraction is against the defense.
So they changed
5
it to
yards,
against the defense.
It's still third down.
And that's the new rule.
Yep.
So you get a coach yelling on one side. Now wait, what about the new rule thing? Then you get a coach yelling on the other side. How can you change the call? But it is a correct adjustment by the officials. The defense cannot force or entice the offense to move before the snap by jumping into the neutral zone and then jumping back.
So with the call against the Rams, it brings up third down and 10. 38-yard line of St. Louis. Zolak stands in, rifles the ball near side, not close. As coming back at the ball was the rookie Tony Simmons, number 81, but Zolak comes in low, and Tom Tupa comes out to punt the ball.
I just happened to be looking at the top of the football field on that play. When Terry Glenn goes deep, people almost pull their muscle. They just head to the end zone.
Really, yeah.
This guy is so fast, they don't even try to cover him. They just take off running.
Bledsoe, while he was in, almost got the ball once to Terry Glenn in the end zone. But so far, Glenn has no catches. Tupa, high punt. Coming up to fair catch it is Kennison. He does at the 15-yard line. And the underdog Rams on their home field here at the Trans World Dome take over the ball. Now let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline question of the week. Who would you pick as the surprise quarterback of the season? Randall Cunningham, Doug Flutie, Vinny Testaverde. Wow.
There should be a D.
Choice. I'd take them all.
No, D. All of the above.
Yeah, right.
Where's D?
Log on to vote at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, a keyword CBS Sportsline. Rams, a surprising 10-3 leader. They led at one point 10-0 here in the first quarter. We're still in the first quarter. Handoff. Terrific defense. Teddy Bruschi getting better game by game. There was some question whether Teddy would be ready to go today. They had to have him. McGinnis is out. Ted Johnson's out. Wheeler's not playing, a defensive lineman. So Bruschi steps in and makes a big hit.
Well, let me tell you, these coaches talk about everybody that got hurt, all the injuries. There's Ted Johnson, really the leader. Look at the neck on that man. That's the lead. Look at the neck on that man.
Doesn't help when it's on the sideline, huh?
At any
torn
rate.
bicep is a 4-month recovery, so he doesn't have a chance to be back even for the playoffs. 2nd and 12, ball on the field, and the Patriots have it. Marty Moore at middle linebacker, Mr. Irrelevant, getting the start because of the accident of Johnson. And the Rams commit their 26th turnover of the field. Marty Moore, what a guy. The last player picked. They called him Mr. Irrelevant 5 years ago, coming out of Kentucky. Doesn't have the great ability like Ted Johnson, but he fights like a Spartan at the hot gates of Thermopylae. A real battler.
Okay. Wherever that is. I learned so
Spartan
much.
legions at Thermopylae. 300 of them killed 20,000 Persian troops.
Okay, I learned so much with you, Don.
They could fight.
They could fight.
Down inside the 10-yard line go the Patriots. A 7-yard gain. Jenkins, one of the safeties, made the stop. Robert Edwards gets his number now up to 112 rushing for the day with a 53-yarder and a 47-yarder.
But before I was distracted by Ted Johnson's neck, what I was about to say is all of these coaches talk about injuries. Well, this time of year, everybody's hurt on every team. Everybody's injured.
Man, wow, stick. Coming up to hit him was Billy Jenkins, the strong safety, and Ray Agnew. Number 99, the Patriots' #1 draft choice 9 years ago. He admired Drew Bledsoe. He told us yesterday, you don't know how tough a kid he is until you saw what he went through with Bill Parcells. He proved himself to everybody. That's going to be the end of the first quarter with the score. The Rams 10, Patriots 3. Will return after this message. News for the Patriots, Drew Bledsoe. His index finger re-x-rayed, no further damage, retaped. Looks like he's ready to go again as he's on the sideline. He was warming up. And the Patriots, after the fumble recovery, now have the ball inside the 5-yard line. 3rd down and 1 for the first down. Edwards, slashing drive. He's down close and be very close to the first down. It'll be less than a yard if he didn't get it. Eric Hill, middle backer for St. Louis, makes the stop.
Well, these Rams are certainly game.
Oh, they can play defense.
They are certainly trying to fill the holes. They are running around. They are certainly game for the contest. And look who's back. I love those stories, Don, where the guy comes back, from the locker room. He goes in pain, comes out.
But Bledsoe, remarkably, with the injured finger, has risen to an even higher level of play. He was completing 54% before the break. Look at this, 64% after the break.
Well, some guys just
break
mentally,
a couple more.
he wouldn't want to hear you say that, nor would anyone in New England. But some guys they really concentrate. They focus in. They go to the next level mentally.
4th down, inches. Fans World Dome is sold out, and it's loud, making it tough on Bledsoe. Got to watch the snap. And retaped. Edwards, he didn't get there. The Rams stuff him. So both defenses have stood up and thrown back the opposition on a 4th down try. Eric Hill was the lead tackler, 54. Well, you can't get a couple inches with a back who's got over almost 110 yards for the game. You got to go to something else, but right now they've got to go to defense to the Patriots as the Rams take over the ball when we come back. Stops the Patriots on 4th down, now takes over the ball. Rams try to run the ball with little luck. As June Henley making his first start is a stop called by Chad Eaton, who's been playing so brilliantly, the free agent.
Down to do well at this situation, the defensive line has got to play well. Then you've got to have a monster coming over the top. Defensive line is a stalemate. Then here comes Eric Hill, number 54, over the top for a beautiful tackle. That's a big play in this football game.
Eric Hill, the former Arizona Cardinal, came in here as a free agent. He's been a top player for a decade now. Second down and 9. Oh no, fires near side, makes the connection. That's Hakeem, the fastest running back. And he darts ahead to the 19-yard line, and he has a St. Louis first down, taken out of bounds by Steve Israel, 13-yard gain.
Excellent blitz pickup by the Rams. New England threw a couple of tricks at them. They picked up the blitz, a very good throw, and then let me tell you something. This little receiver.
Yeah, they talked about him.
Oh man, this is special out here.
Super fast, Hakeem. For the Rams, with that pass play, get out of trouble deep in their own end, go right back up top again. Bono, long ball, going deep. Look at the coverage by Israel. Absolutely beautifully done. Steve Israel, who had so many problems getting in the lineup after he came to New England.
Play football, young man. It doesn't get any better than this. Great jam, great attack at the line of scrimmage. It totally confused Az. Good position, and then look at the tap away at the end. But Don, what made the play is the fact that he startled the receiver by jamming him so suddenly off the line of scrimmage.
Got him in the first 5 yards, so a superb play by Steve Israel makes it second down and 10. Bono from the shotgun. Rams continue to go on offense without huddling. Pitched up the middle. Open field, and then a tackle made from behind, saving a huge gain as Teddy Bruschi came up. But as it was, he made the tackle 12 yards downfield, first down.
Now, the running back goes one direction, the quarterback goes another. Quarterback goes this way, a shovel pass. Now, I tell you what's remarkable about this is that, Bono didn't get a lot of practice at this. This was Tony Banks' play. Dick Vermeil talked about how well he runs the shuffle pass. So a dangerous call, but well executed. Yeah, that's a tough call for a guy that didn't get a lot of snaps during the week, Don.
Well, that's that veteran confidence, a 14-year veteran. Rams now line up at the 31-yard line. Another quick drop throw over the middle, and look at that breakup. Big play. Clay comes in from the free safety and slaps it down. Heading up. Ricky Prohl might still be running.
Well, it's a sight adjustment by the quarterback and all the receivers. Everyone's locked up man for man because it's blitz coverage. And look at Clay using the correct hand, which is the right hand. You put the left hand around the receiver as you knock the ball down with the right in case you miss the ball. You still have something to grab the receiver with. Good play.
Bono huddling his Rams, brings them out now second down and 10 at the 32. Pitch back. June Henley. Driving tackle on June Henley by Lawyer Malloy, the strong safety, but there's a 7-yard gain on the play for St. Louis.
June Henley, self-described as a hard-nosed runner. He said, I don't have a lot of foot speed, so he lost about 10 pounds in the offseason looking for that extra step. He says he's quicker than fast, and you see that he's a hard-nosed runner there. Puts his shoulder down at the point of attack.
Patriot defense has had a problem stopping the opposition on third down, but in the Steeler game they were tremendous. Steelers converted only 4 of 13 third downs. This is third and a long 3 for the Rams. Deep drop. Bono, sideline. Whoa, big. Steve Israel can play football.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pro football no.
It's what?
It's a pro football no. When a guy's not looking at you, there's no reason to go through his knees. I'm just talking. It's like running
the position.
It's like running. It's like running the goalie in hockey. There's certain things you don't do. Guy's not looking at you. There's no reason to go down like that. You hit him face up. He's not looking. You're gonna knock him down on his back if you hit him face up. I don't like that, but it's a good play.
Well, what we can be certain of, there'll be a similar hit put on the Patriots before long. This is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth league. If it was indeed something they deemed unsportsmanlike, they will come back and do the same thing. Chris Canty returns the punt out to the 22-yard line.
Once again, it's certainly a legal tackle, Don, but it's an NFL no.
He did go low.
Unwritten rule.
52-yard punt and a 10-yard return. The Patriots clinch a playoff today if they win. Well, right now they're losing, but they also have to win. They get losses by Oakland, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. And guess what? They're all losing. Look at Oakland's going to get buried at Buffalo. Starting Wade Wilson plays 40 years old in the win. Robert Edwards runs the ball and gets out to about the 24-yard line. Jay Williams and Roman Pfeiffer make the tackle.
Well, I guarantee you that the Rams have discussed gap control. There's got to be somebody in every hole. And you take away those 2 plays, and the Rams have played a perfect football game. 2 cutback runs, long runs by Robert Edwards, because every gap wasn't controlled on the defensive side of the ball for the Rams.
That brings up 2nd down and 8. Rams blitz, ball on the field. It again is live. Rams kicking it, picking it up, going in. Touchdown. Let's see, did he go out of bounds? Officials are going to huddle.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
Officials, there's a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage.
On the defense.
Did the blitz might have come early?
5 yards. Repeat, 2nd down.
Come on back.
Well, I'll tell you, if the blitz didn't come early, they probably wouldn't have gotten a fumble.
No, the blitz came way early. Are you kidding me? Just come on back.
But look out for these Rams. They're going to be here for 4 quarters, and this probably is going to come down to the last play of the game. Offside call against the Rams. Advances the ball now to the 30-yard line of the Patriots. And makes it 2nd down and just over 2, about 3. Hand off. Edwards weaving ahead. Didn't get much. Didn't get the first down. He's broken 2 big runs today. If you joined us late, 53 yards and 47 yards.
I think I have circled the culprit, Don. That's number 96, Jay. Wait, look at Jay. Jay jumped in the hole. Jay had nothing to do with the play, which means that Todd Light's blitz would have equaled a touchdown for the Rams if Jay Williams could have controlled his big old self.
Billy Jenkins, 22, picked it up and went in, but it comes back, and now it's 3rd and short. Going to be a playoff team. You got to get these kind of down yardages. Here's the handoff, and they get it in a lot more. There goes Robert Edwards again. Look at the block by Jefferson that gets Edwards all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So Edwards, who was stopped on 4th and inches a short time ago, this time on 3rd and short, busts a 58-yarder as he is in the midst of a career game, and this is rookie season.
Now, once again, this is great blocking right here on this side of the Patriot offense. Look how everybody is crushed on the inside, allowing Edwards to just run around the corner. Edwards didn't do anything. It was great blocking.
Just held on.
People give the wrong credit to the wrong person in this game.
Here's a handoff as they give Edwards a breather and send in Cedric Shaw. He runs ahead for about 4 yards. It was a terrific block on the play by the rookie tight end Rod Rutledge of the Patriots in that last long run.
Let's go back and look at some good blocking. All right, roll it, guys. All right, there's Bruce Armstrong with a crush kill block. Here comes the fullback with a dynamic monster play. There's nobody anywhere. Now watch at the end of this play, Edwards should have gone to the left behind his blocking receiver.
Now the Rams rise up. Cedric Shaw goes nowhere. Get your breath back, Robert Edwards, the Patriot fans are saying. Because Cedric Shaw does his best, but he's a big drop-off. This Robert Edwards beast is going to end up a 1,000-yard rusher by day's end. With he keeps going. 3 huge runs today.
Very good run. Now the 2 cutback runs, that's all Robert Edwards. That was all his ability.
Look at the number. 56 yards rushing today, but the Patriots still with just 3 points. 3rd down and 8. Bledsoe stands in, fires and makes the connection. It's short of the first down. As the connection is made to Troy Brown, turning an out pattern, number 80. He's been troubled by injuries, making his 22nd catch of the year. Dexter McCleon knocked him down.
Well, this is another big 4th down. If he didn't get it, this is the 3rd huge 4th down situation in this game. And the defense has won all three, both of them, leading up to this, the third.
Rookie Robert Edwards today has run the ball 12 times, has gained 156 yards. Over 900 for the season. Career high. Ball is positioned at about the 23-yard line, and fourth down comes up. And Vinatieri, they want to inch closer, at risk coming up short again on fourth down and getting no points. He's been a tremendous player, Vinatieri, 106 points for the season.
Well, when this happens, you know your defensive line has made its point to the offense. We won't even try.
Yeah, it's a moral victory for the Rams, who will still have the lead even if the kick is good. And it appears to be right down the pipe. So Vinatieri delivers 2 for 2 on the day. 27 of 34 for the season kicking field goals. And the Patriots inch closer, down 10-6. New England kicks off when we come back. Steve Bono ready to come back in. The starting quarterback, Banks, who was playing so well, injured his right knee when he was hit dropping to pass. He went off on the cart, unfortunately. Now the kickoff. And here comes the fast rookie, Tony Horn, for the Rams. Bang! Vinatieri slows him up, and then he's taken out of bounds by Derek Cullors, who only makes plays on every aspect of football. Don Crickey with Beasley Reese. In the previous 3 games, Robert Edwards of the Patriots gained 130 yards over 3 games. Today, Beasley has 156 yards, and you think it's the blocking?
Well, now the first 2 blocking early, cut back running. I give him all the credit. But that third one was just excellent blocking by the offense.
So Robert Edwards having a career day, and he's going to be getting a lot more carries. But the Patriots, even with his great production, have still been kept out of the Rams' end zone. 2 field goals is all they've been able to muster. Down 10-6. Pitch back. June Henley. Big play by Brewski. The former All-American at the University of Arizona, who just gets better and better. He led the Desert Swarm defense of the Arizona Wildcats. Boy, he's a good player. Got his weight up to 245. They've all got to step up with Ted Johnson down. With Willie McGinnis out today, they left Willie back in Foxborough. He's undergoing treatment on the groin pull. Johnson is here because he's on IR. He's gone for the season, unfortunately.
I'll tell you who's been quiet, Chris Slade. I expect to hear his name here in a minute.
Bono stands in, looking long, launches. He's got his man down inside the 35-yard line. Is the tight end, the rookie from Syracuse, Roland Williams, a 32-yard gain before Lawyer Malloy brings him down.
And Roland is talking trash. He's been talking trash all day long. Here he is lined up on the flank, the left flank of the screen. It's a very poorly played zone by New England. Look at the hole that he breaks out into. That's just bad defense. Not by Ty Law. Ty Law is the best in the country. He's got his man covered and then breaks off to help at the end. So don't be blaming Ty, but that was poor zone coverage.
So the Rams continue to move the ball on this very good Patriot defense. Here's Henley coming inside the 25-yard line. And again, the umpire fires in a flag, and that's usually an offensive foul. It would negate a 10-yard gain if it was an offensive penalty.
There's usually someone cheating.
It's not been easy being an official in the NFL this year.
Flag is thrown for a holding, taking a defender down. However, the runner was past the defender. We're picking the flag up. No foul.
Great job by the officials.
Jerry Austin.
It had no impact on the play, and they picked it up.
Pete Carroll saying, I'd like a clarification.
Yeah, Pete said you can't do that. I read lips in so many years of doing these games.
Best lip reading we had today, though, was Dick Vermeer with the what happened.
There's a comparison of your running backs, 43 for Henley, which is, not a bad day. If he gets 16, 20 carries today, that's a 100-yard day, but it pales when you put it next to Robert Edwards' performance.
2nd and 1. Pitch back to Henley. Look at these Patriots pursue.
That's great.
Tremendous plays. Willie Clay, the free safety, shooting through and making the play.
Yeah, but that's a big play, Clay.
Big play, Clay makes one.
He's supposed to do that.
So with that tackle, it brings up third down and a long 2, almost 3. Ball positioned at the 21-yard line, a loss of a yard on the play.
Good look at big play. We've been covering him so long that I actually recognize a little receding of the hairline on big play.
All those hits. Bono doing well, Beasley. 4 of 7 throwing the ball since coming in for the injured Tony Banks. 56 yards. Bono to the end zone. He's got Ricky Coleman. He loses the ball. But wait, clear markers come in. Defensive interference. And the ball goes to the 1-yard line. First and goal. Point blank range.
There's no question, Don. You have to look back for the football. Even if you're faking. Even if you're not really looking
Pass
back.
interference. Number 21 of the defense in the end zone. Automatic first down on the 1.
Steve Israel's made some tremendous
Look at this,
plays today, but not on that one.
See, you can't do that. First of all, his hand is there clearly before the ball comes in. He clearly is not trying to play the ball. He's trying to play the man. And, boy, this is a well-thrown ball. Well-thrown ball. He allows the receiver to get behind him. You can't do that.
He did the right thing in fouling him. Now they at least have to run it in from the 1 or do something because they would have caught it for sure. Henley does indeed run it in from the 1. And the underdog Rams ignite the Trans World Dome once again as they build a 16-6 lead with the extra point coming up. June Henley with his first NFL touchdown.
Now, Israel played for the Rams. He is a former Ram, so this is a guy who would like very much to perform very well here today. He's made some great plays, and I don't take anything away from him. And Don, you're correct. When he did let the receiver get behind him, he's probably smart to just mug the guy. But what a special day for Mr. Henley. June Henley getting his touchdown, his first start in the National Football League.
So now the Patriots with 3 straight wins, nearing a playoff spot, but in trouble in this game, and the Rams will be kicking off again when we come back. Excitement at the Trans World Dome. The Rams have struggled this year in the throes of a 4-game losing streak, but they're in the lead. At halftime, Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi with all the scores and highlights in a President's Cup preview of the final day of action in Australia. International golf competition. Big kickoff by Wilkins, and Cullors is not able to bring it out. Downs the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. CBS cleaning up on Monday nights.
Yes, yes.
June Henley, and across the way, the guy he considers his brother, Terry Glenn. They need to go to Glenn on 1st and 10. Bledsoe looks and waits. Ram coaches told us if Bledsoe has a shortcoming, it's that he holds the ball too long. We think we can sack him. Well, they finally do. Grant Wistrom showing today why he was the #1 draft choice out of Nebraska. He had a fumble recovered early. Now he has a sack along with the expatriate Ray Agnew.
That time there was nobody open. You know, my eyes were running downfield with Drew. I was trying to figure out where he was going to throw the ball, and a Ram is draped on every Patriot.
As Pete Carroll said, Beasley, the Rams are 2-1 in our division. And they've beaten Buffalo and the Jets. They lost at Miami, but they held Miami to 104 yards offense in the game. Free ball. Oh, man. Almost picked off. It trickles off the fingers of linebacker Roman Pfeiffer, number 58. Going to Lovett Purnell, as mentioned earlier, as Patriot fans all know, they're all pro tight end. Ben Coates not here because of the death of his mother. And so it is Lovett Purnell starting today. He has no catches. Well, Bledsoe is just 1 of 6 for 14 yards.
The New England Patriots have a problem. I can make that announcement right now.
This is not breaking news, right?
They have a problem. These Rams are playing some football.
We warned you at the outset. They can play with the best, the Rams. Blitz. Bledsoe throws, and Glenn cuts the ball. And it's a slam to the turf, and Terry Glenn is shaken up. 13-yard gain. The field caused the ball to come loose, but unfortunately Terry Glenn is now down.
Not only did he hurt his leg, he slammed his head.
Yeah, he
against the
really
road.
went down hard. Todd Light, the cornerback, brought him down.
His brother June Henley looking on there. Boy, take a look at the end of this play. I mean, you will see how violently,
man,
Glenn comes down to the turf. Excellent throw, and look how the back of his head slams into the turf, and the way Todd Light tackled him, the weight of Light's body was on the legs of Terry Glenn, and he's had leg problems for a long time.
Well, he's had primarily hamstring problems, but now they're looking at his lower right leg.
And it's a nice break inside, and see, there it is. I mean, you
terrific
see
play.
Yeah, Todd Light makes a super play.
Looked like it might be an ankle sprain. One of the things you hear a lot about now is the high ankle sprain, which keeps people out for who knows how long. We don't know what this one is, but Mark Brunell, there's talk that he might not be back for the first playoff game because of a high ankle sprain.
There's nothing more painful, and I believe you're right, Don. I think it is the oh my goodness, this is a shame.
Terry Glenn, the difference maker, the guy who changes the face of the game for New England. 23-10 when he's in the lineup. They're 6-6 when he's out of the lineup. He's limping off now. He is going off under his own power, but it doesn't look like he's ready to run full speed. So you just don't know. We'll try to get a report from the bench. Our producer today for CBS Sports is Al Szymanski, director J.D. Hansen, executive producer Terry Ewert, and Pete Carroll and his Patriots now as he goes over to Dr. Zarens and tries to get an indication of just what the injury is. Pete was just telling us it starts looking like we're getting our guys healthy, and all of a sudden this happens, and now the Patriots have to punt the ball from deep in their own end. It was ruled an incomplete pass, but Glenn had lost the ball before it hit the ground. Ball hit downfield. Kennison comes up. Fair. No, he does not fair catch. He runs the ball across the 50 and gets to the 48-yard line. Started to wave his hands, but not above his head. So he runs it back 6 yards after a 40-yard punt.
Well, I tell you, the field position swing is so powerful on this little sequence that basically the Rams have a 50-yard field to play on. And that's the importance of field position.
You got an idea of how important this game is to the Rams. Their offensive coordinator, Jerry Rome, he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame dinner, into the College Football Hall of Fame. There was a big dinner in New York, a black tie dinner they have every year last Tuesday. Here's a guy going to the Hall of Fame. He didn't go. He said, we want to win this game. There's Jerry Rome with a headset on to the right. Clear shot at a pick was Lawyer Malloy, but he couldn't get down with the ball as it skips off the hands of Roland Williams, the rookie tight end, who had one 32-yard gainer a bit ago. Bono in for the injured Tony Banks. We're getting a report now that Tony Banks suffered a torn medial collateral ligament in his knee. So he is obviously gone for the season.
Well, that would hurt.
Playing brilliantly.
We saw him in pain on the turf. There's a lot of nerve endings in that break.
He'll undergo an MRI tonight to determine if there's additional damage. It hit out when he was dropping to pass. Oh no, loses the ball. That is live. So often they try to pick it up and bungle it, but here we have a guy that's thinking, Chad Eaton, who's played so great. And Chad Eaton gets the ball and downs it, and the Patriots have the ball at the 25-yard line of the Rams.
And this is the second time that Bono has done this. You know, he dropped the snap, which you understand earlier in the game. He hasn't been playing. And then here it is again, man. You know, the good ones feel pressure.
Chad Eaton coming off a career game. He had 3 sacks against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. In the previous 5 games, the Patriots have had a total of 2 sacks. He had 3 in one game. He and his wife Tina very active in the Jimmy Fund in Boston. Terrific guy, a free agent. And now Robert Edwards bangs down to the 20. Very positive development, that turnover that Chad Eaton got, because the Patriots can get closer before halftime, down 17-6.
Well, Chad Eaton got those 3 sacks against DeMonte Dawson. Look at
some interesting places.
Well, you look, Sabercats, that's an arena football team. With the Cardinals cut, went to the Sabercats. With the Jets cut, it goes on down the line. Everybody he signed with cut him. I asked him what has changed. He said it's coaching. He's getting better coaching in New England.
He said Henry Thomas's teammate has also helped him a lot. Robert Green runs the ball on 2nd down and 4. He is down close to the 17-yard line. They're going to spot him close to a 1st down. And Jerry Austin stops the clock. Well, it's down to the 2-minute warning now, as the Patriots are driving, looking to capitalize on the fumble recovery by Chad Eaton. Patriots' best receiver Terry Glenn goes up after it appeared he injured an ankle making a play a bit earlier.
That's devastating for New England if he can't get back on the field right away. They go to San Francisco, then they go against the Jets.
San Francisco. Here is the Bledsoe dropping to throw, takes a look, throws the ball, and it's almost caught. Tony Simmons, a terrific receiver, can't make the play. Bledsoe told us about the problems he has with that injured finger.
Well, it's really a strange sensation, because we have to numb it up on the end. Otherwise, the pain sensation would, keep me from the pain reflex would keep me from throwing the ball with any velocity, and so I can't feel the ball come off my finger, and that's really the one thing that tells you where the ball is going to end up when you throw, is that last finger to touch the ball. So not having any sensation in that finger, it's just kind of an act of faith when I'm throwing the ball.
Well, he needs to throw it now. Bledsoe rolling out, takes a look. Lovett Purnell, a 16-yarder. So an act of faith, believing in that trigger finger, Beasley.
What a throw. On the run, on the move, with no finger sensation. Drew just told you himself. They stick a needle in that thing. He couldn't feel it. You could run a car over the top of his finger, he couldn't feel it.
You've seen some big men faint when they brought that needle out.
I've seen big men cry. What a throw. Right on the money. I tell you, Drew Bledsoe grew up. Now, he would disagree. I said that to him. He said he's always played good football. He was just on the right stage.
Going for 2, 17-12. He looks, he fires. Who is that? They're ruling it's a clean block. So it's an incomplete pass in the end zone, attempted to tight end Mike Bartram. The 2-point conversion try fails, but the Patriots do get 6. And with 1:49 to go in the first half, where we've seen everything, it is 17-12 St. Louis. This is a beautiful looking play.
Well, Lovett is lined up right on the, I had the wrong guy, but Lovett is lined up in the slot. Nobody covers him. And that would be a Ben Coates touchdown, were he here. Well run by Lovett Purnell.
Bledsoe was rolling out to his right, and he had a linebacker in hot pursuit, so he got it away just in time. And now the Patriots will kick off with 1:49 to go in the first half. What a division, the AFC East. Looks like they could have 4 playoff teams. Buffalo currently winning over the Raiders. Jets and Miami meet later. Big play for Lovett Purnell. He needed that. Lovett Purnell doesn't get the ball thrown to him often. That's only his 7th catch of the year. His 2nd touchdown.
Well, he's been watching the best. Now, we are told that they are x-raying Terry Glenn's ankle. And we'll have a report on that x-ray as soon as we get it, as soon as they give it to us.
But Chad Eaton on the sideline. He's the guy that got the fumble that set up the score. Now Vinatieri is set to kick off for New England. Tony Horn is back, the guy who ran one back 102 yards against Atlanta. It caroms off and up back, London Fletcher, and goes out of bounds.
That's not good.
No.
If you let it go out of bounds, they get the ball in great position. For it to bounce off him, he lost about 15, 20 yards of field position there.
Coming up on is the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. Join Jim Nance and company for all the scores and highlights. Jim was talking earlier with Heisman Trophy winner Ricky Williams of Texas. I'll be emceeing that dinner tomorrow night in New York. Talk to pro scouts. When they talk about Ricky Williams, you don't think they're talking about a human being. It's more like Superman. I've never heard reports like this.
Well,
he's one of the greatest players coming out from scouting reports of all time.
Well, when you look at about every 10 years a running back wins the Heisman, that guy ends up winning the rushing title in pro football. It goes back to O.J. Simpson and the likes. So even history says this guy's going to be phenomenal.
As the draft is now, the Rams would draft number 5 at the start of this day overall. Bono looks. He's in trouble. The Patriots start to use their timeouts now. They could get the ball back with some time to spare. They quickly signal a timeout, stopping the clock with 1:44 to play. So New England making a big rally here late in the second quarter as Pete Carroll picking up his step on the sideline.
Well, this is just a defense that recognizes the moment. I mean, they recognize the situation. Good coverage downfield. Good pressure by Thomas. You could tell they talked about it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for 2 to try to bring it to within 3. That failed. Now they've gone to the next step, which is to put tremendous heat on the quarterback in this situation to get the ball back.
Dick Vermeil, 63 years old.
63 years young.
And he said he's had a very difficult week himself. His sister-in-law was killed in a fire in California, Santa Rosa, California, and his brother was seriously injured. So he's coaching with a heavy heart today. Dick Vermeil. His team responding. The underdog Rams continue to lead 17-12. Look at Brewski. Get onside, offside. There's a marker down though, and there's a drop ball. That was what's plagued the Rams. And there's the. See, they bore poor Eddie Kennison. His confidence is so down. And, hey, this guy's a tremendous player. His first year he's eating people up, but he just I don't know what it is, Beasley. They're late for answers.
The defense. 5
Get
yards.
the play over though.
Repeat, second down.
So it is not a drop. It's a negated play on the offside.
Don, this drop is ridiculous. I mean, I feel my heart hurts for the guy. He jumps up in the air like a 12-year-old. Look at this. I mean, the ball is coming right. He's grabbing, snatching. I mean, it's brutal to watch. I feel so bad for him because he's had great games.
Oh, man.
He's a wide receiver who can't catch.
And they say on the punts he's the most sure-handed guy in the league. He's just unbelievable. Just can't catch passes like that. Beautifully done by Lawyer Malloy. He was in position, had his back to the receiver who ran over his back, so it's an incomplete pass to Ricky Prohl. And the clock still has 1:36 left to play on it, and 3rd and 10's coming up. Tuesday, an all-new Jag. Arm and Mark try to help a troubled girl suspected of being abused, but is there more than meets the eye? Don't miss this all-new Jag. Tuesday on CBS. Bono fires. Intercepted by Israel. He's on the run. The ex-Ram turns it wide. Inside the 25-yard line. Down to the 23 with 1:25 left to play in the half. Orlando Pace brought him down, so Israel, you remember his foul in the end zone that gave the Rams 1st and goal on the 1. One play later converted into a touchdown. Now gets the ball back, and the Patriots could take the lead before halftime.
Well, Steve Israel created the play before this one on a blitz. Then he comes back and he makes the beautiful interception. He's having a great game. I mean, he's made 4 excellent plays, 1 bad play on the pass interference call. But, you know, even that play, he did the smart thing by tackling the wide receiver to prevent a sure touchdown. Boy, this is working out perfectly for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, the 3rd Ram turnover of the first half. Rams led in the first few minutes of the game 10-0. Bledsoe throws. That's the problem. He has no feeling at all when he releases the ball. That time he comes in a bit high to tight end Levitt Purnell.
That finger, Don, the one he's got plasticized and wrapped. I wrapped my finger and held the football and tried to throw it. Everything came out high or low. It's the last thing that comes off the ball, and you're shocked at the direction, the influence on the direction that finger has.
Index finger on his throwing hand, the trigger finger. Now 2nd down and 10. Patriots Go back to the pass. All-out blitz, and Bledsoe is swept under. They sent everybody. 3 guys were covering. The rest came on a blitz.
No one blocked anyone.
Roman Pfeiffer and Kevin Carter on the sack. Carter getting half a sack. He's up to 11 for the season.
Watch the offensive linemen of the Patriots as they stand stymied as a group here. You know, nobody hit anybody.
And now it's a very long field goal if they don't hit this pass. It'd be about a 48-yarder. Bledsoe setting in the shotgun. Rams aligning to blitz again. Here they come. Bledsoe stands in. Again. As their scouting report said, he holds it long and we can get him, and they get him for a 4th time. 4 sacks in the first half.
Well, once again, I looked downfield. That was nothing there. I mean, I have the benefit of being about 3 stories up in the air over the football field. If Drew Bledsoe couldn't see anything there and I couldn't see anything from here, I mean, that was just that was a bad situation. The only thing Drew could have done is thrown the ball away.
So Zolak, he was sacked once. Bledsoe's been sacked 3 times. 4 sacks for the Ram defense. Rams have allowed 3 sacks, but they've also turned the ball over 3 times. Vinatieri's got a strong leg, and he'll need it now, as the line of scrimmage is the 38-yard line. This is going to be over 50 yards. Over 55 yards. Officially set as a 55-yarder. It's between the hold is going to be between the 45 and the 46. Add 10 for the end zone. But he can get it there with no problem. But can he get it straight? He hits it beautifully. Booms the ball downfield. Man, Adam Vinatieri. Tremendous. Booms it 55 yards with 25 seconds to play in the first half. And the favored Patriots inch closer. Adam Vinatieri with his 3rd field goal today. Been the guy for the Patriots today. Field goals of 37, 41, and now 55 yards. 3 for 3. That was 28 for 35 on the season. 112 points for the season for Adam Vinatieri in his 3rd year from South Dakota State. He gets set to kick off again as the Patriots have cut the lead to 17-15. He bounces it down the field. Let some big guy fumble it. They do very nicely. Mike Jones, another former Patriot, on there to block. Gets the ball and does the right thing. Falls down with it.
Yes, it did Mike D. Jones.
They got a few passes off. 24 seconds left. Mike said, "That's not my game." Do a lot of things for you. I don't return kicks.
Steve Bono's got to protect the ball better. He can be directly traced to 2 turnovers.
They're going to take their winnings, slim as they may be. 2 points to the locker room. Down the ball, so Bono and the Rams trot off the field. And the Patriots have to feel much better about themselves as they rally late. Bledsoe, troubled finger and all, did have 1 touchdown pass, limited yardage production. But we go to halftime with the underdog Rams in the lead, 17-15. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. A wild first half. 5 turnovers, 166 yards rushing for the rookie Robert Edwards. Just a wild game, and the underdog Rams are in the lead, Beasley.
Well, I tell you what's really wild is the injuries, and we've seen everything here. That's the Robert Edwards report right there. Everything else pretty much the same.
Critical development early in the game. Tony Banks, quarterback for the Rams, playing so brilliantly, and he gets hit as Thomas of the Patriots didn't mean to hurt him, but he just ran over the blocker. And then Bledsoe went off to have his throwing index finger on his throwing hand re-examined and re-x-rayed. Fortunately, he was all right. He came back to throw a touchdown pass. June Henley making his first start, the guy who grew up with Terry Glenn. He ran in from a yard out after a pass interference call. The Rams built their lead at that point. So all kinds of wild stuff happened in the first half, and this was an adverse development for New England, Beasley.
And this is Terry Glenn on a nice inside release. Todd Light tackles him, comes down violently on his knees and ankles, and he goes off with a ankle problem.
Well, Drew Bledsoe has not had the passing numbers that he normally has, but we'll see if he can get it going here in the second half. Patriots capitalizing, though, on 3 Ram turnovers. Patriots have turned it over twice. Wilkins, he can kick it long, booms it off for St. Louis, and Colors will not bring it back. Out to the 20, 1st and 10 for New England there. Out comes Drew Bledsoe, having another tremendous year, coming off his most inspirational victories in the recent games. Came in with now has 20 touchdown throws for the year, 57% completions, 3 times a Pro Bowl player, and this is only his 6th year in the league. But never before has he delivered the come from behind wins like he has in the recent games. And Edwards, 166 yards in the first half, his career best prior to today, 104 yards, but he loses yardage there as big DeMarco Farr, number 75, gets in the backfield.
Well, it's just a great surge off the line of scrimmage. DeMarco Farr beat his man almost instantly. Here's DeMarco, and DeMarco just with a quick move. I tell you, the New England offensive lineman never had a chance. Some good athletes on this defense, especially the defensive line.
10th rated defense in the league. It's not a 3-10 defense. Here's a throw, and Lovett Purnell, in the midst of a lot of people, gets slammed hard but holds on. A very short gain on the play. Tackles by Mike A. Jones and Eric Hill, 2 of the linebackers.
The Rams have played that play very well. They got an interception off of it in the first half. Had 2 defensive players in position to slam Purnell. Time he caught the ball that time. That's a dangerous throw for New England the rest of this game. I mean, you got to know that they're looking for that play.
And they fortunately forced it in. Brings up 3rd and long though. 3rd down and 12. They're blitzing him every time on long yardage. Here it comes again. Long ball downfield. What a play by Troy Brown. Looked like he was fouled. He was fighting off the defender, Todd Light. And Troy Brown brings it in and gains 37 yards on 3rd and long.
Yeah, but how about the throw with 4 fingers?
Yeah, that's right.
This is an amazing throw by Drew Bledsoe. And then here's your receiver right in the slot right here. Nothing to the move. Todd Light's in perfect position. They're battling right down the field. Now you saw Troy push Todd right in the chest as they went downfield. Now watch the throw. Now, Troy got away with a Michael Irvin on the play, but look at the throw. Just a great throw.
To the run. Edwards hangs ahead on 1st down. He gains 11 and a 1st down again as the ball's advanced down to the 36-yard line. Keith Lyle, the free safety, one of the leading tacklers for the Rams, makes the stop. Lyle has 23 interceptions over the last 3 years. Don't throw it around him.
No, he's good. You know, let me take you back to Drew again. Drew Bledsoe became a major star over the last 3 weeks. I mean, he went to another realm, and he's got a chance to do it here, Trey.
At times he brings his arm forward. Either the arm is hit or the ball was, but it's knocked down incomplete. Kevin Carter rushing on the play.
Bledsoe is just an all-around great player, great guy. He's the international chairman of a foundation that helps children. Just does it all.
Yeah, he wrote a book, a 40-page book called Make the Right Choice for Kids. Couldn't sign autographs at a book signing, so they had a picture-taking session. He can throw for touchdowns, but he can't sign his name because of that damaged finger. Showing tough from the Georgia Bulldogs. Bangs down to the 30-yard line. Got 6 on the carry. Knocked down again by Keith Lyle, the free safety.
Well, Edwards has got something special happening here. 177 yards rushing already. The defense is starting to tackle him high as they get tired. As they start to tackle around the shoulders, he's going to be dragging people like you just saw on that play.
And a troubling report from the Patriots locker room. Terry Glenn has a fractured right ankle. They didn't determine just how long he'll be out. There's all different degrees now of even fractures. Throw, catch, down at the 20-yard line. First down as Sean Jefferson gives it a little hop and gets ahead for 10 yards. On a 3rd and 5. So all of a sudden, Beasley, Drew Bledsoe is right on target.
No, he's you can look through his eyes on this play. I mean, you can play quarterback. Look as he looks to the right, then comes back to the left to find the open Sean Jefferson and puts it right between the 8 and the 4.
Edwards, nowhere to go. Outside backer Roman Pfeiffer slows him up, and then he's finished off by middle backer Eric Hill.
I'll tell you, they still never tackled him. He just ran out of football field. The guy continues to move his feet, and you tackle a guy like that around his shoulders and he's not going to go down.
And there's a Patriot down on the play. The Giants continue to lead the undefeated Broncos at Giant Stadium 10-6 in the 3rd quarter.
That'll change.
Pete Carroll wondering what more bad news can come today. Well, both coaches have got very bad news. Carroll just learning at halftime that Terry Glenn has a fractured right ankle. And of course the young quarterback of the Rams who played so brilliantly in the 1st quarter, leading them to a 10-0 lead, Tony Banks. He's definitely gone for the season with a torn ligament in his knee.
Well, now, New England with another guy down.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports kicks off the weekend. The Jets meet the Buffalo Bills. Then next Sunday, the playoff picture continues to unfold with regional action. You'll see either Kansas City at the Giants, Baltimore versus Chicago, or the Oakland Raiders meet San Diego. Check your local listings. It all begins with the NFL Today. Those are the Sunday games, some of them, and of course the big Saturday game, the Jets meeting the Buffalo Bills. And in a sense, the playoff season has begun for these AFC East contenders. You don't know if you can afford any more losses if you're the Bills or the Patriots. The Patriots win today, they'll be assured of no worse a position than 1 game off the AFC Eastern lead. Tony Carter, the blocking fullback, shaken up on the play. He's on his feet. Here's an update as Oakland is getting buried at Buffalo. Pittsburgh losing, and Tennessee is tied right now. So if the Patriots come back and win this game and the other 3 teams below lose, the Patriots assure themselves of a playoff spot on this day with 2 games to go. 2 tough ones at home against the 49ers, then they meet the Jets on the road. December 27th.
When we talked to Pete Carroll yesterday, he talked about getting players back being the difference. I mean, that's just basically it. And then he gets them back and then he loses them right away. Terry Glenn is the example.
Robert Edwards finds the gap. Robert Edwards rockets through, still working his way down to the 2-yard line. A tremendous burst of speed by the rookie from Georgia, and he's ahead for a 21-yard gain before Ryan McNeil brings him down.
Watch the hole that he hits. I mean, there's just nothing there. This happens so fast. Look at the blocking. That is just beautiful by the offensive line. Now, I talked about tackling a great back high around his waist. He's going to drag you 10 yards, and that's exactly what the Rams did. Try to tackle him around the waist. It doesn't happen. It's not going to work. He's going to drag you.
He did that. Getting the last 10, dragging McNeil. Robert Edwards heading to the goal line, and he gets close, but he's not in. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Eric Hill knocks him down, middle backer.
Tell you, teams that lose, something happens to them. You know, the Rams defensive lineman went from just smothering to standing around as a group on the last play after Robert Edwards broke the long run.
And this is a dramatic comeback for the Patriots. You'll recall they were down in the 2nd quarter 17-3. Now they're down 17-15. Second and goal from inside the 1. They take the lead. If Edwards goes in, he does not. They knock him down again. So again, the Patriot running game, which has sprung Edwards a number of times today and then has been nowhere on short yardage plays. Pete Carroll just shakes his head. The running game's been a lot better today.
Well, New England is not going to be able to just slap these guys back 4 yards and run it in. You know, they need to trick them.
Maybe they'll play fake and throw to Lovett Purnell. They like to do this to Ben Coates when he's in.
This is where they really miss Ben.
Purnell set up wide right. Now they pitch back to Edwards. He stops ahead. He looks like he's close. He didn't get there. 2 linesmen come in. They'll spot the ball inches from the goal line. But the Rams slam the door. And the Patriots will take the lead with a Vinatieri field goal if he makes it. And the odds are enormous that he will.
Well, this is a win, though, by the Rams. Believe me. This is a win. You get the ball first in goal from down there and let a defense do this to you. As an offense, it's embarrassing. As a defense, it's the greatest of all honors.
Vinatieri's hit 3 for 3 today, including a career-long 55-yarder in his last attempt. He delivers again. 12 points for the sure-footed Adam Vinatieri, and for the first time today, the favored New England Patriots take the lead on the Rams. And the Patriots will kick off when we come back to St. Louis. Sideline directing his team down the field in position to get the go-ahead field goal, but no touchdown. Vinatieri 4 for 4 on field goal tries. Hits a spinning kickoff short. It's taken at the 8-yard line. Is cut down quickly before he gets to the 20. So again, good special teams coverage by New England, and the Rams go on offense 1st and 10.
It was perfect coverage. I mean, every gap. When you cover a kick, you talk about lanes. Every lane was filled by New England.
Offsides on the kickoff. Number 29, 5 yards. Repeat the kick.
Only one problem.
Yeah.
No, that's one they try not to call. They even give you a yard or two. Honestly, they give you a yard on the kickoff. They give it to you. You can have a yard.
This is a play. The penalty on a kickoff makes 22 people very unhappy.
You got it. There's nothing more violent than that sprint, 70, 80-yard sprint, and then you got to go do it again.
They called it on Derek Cullors. He was down a little bit early, so the Rams could get much better field position with 7:40 to go in the third quarter.
Don, you have to be way offside. That's the point I'm trying to make. They try not to call this.
Like guys in the lane on the NBA. Sometimes take a look before the free throw leaves the guy's hand. There's 8 guys in there.
They don't like doing this. It's bad television to do this again, and the NFL is very aware of its presentation.
From the 25-yard line, Vinatieri kicks off, hits it well down to the 8. Tony Horn again. He's the guy that ran it back 102 yards against Atlanta. And he puts a scare into the Patriots and gets the ball out to the 34-yard line. Leonte Reams got him down. To the Transworld Dome, St. Louis, Missouri. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. The Rams, who led in the second quarter 17-3 over the favored Patriots, now find themselves trailing for the first time 18-17. Pitch back. June Henley cutting back, and Chad Eaton stands him up with a 300-pound driving tackle. Bruschi was also on the stop. He's played terrific football today. Teddy Bruschi, as June Henley is stopped for no gain.
Chad Eaton is one of those guys. He walks in the room, it fills up. The guy's huge. You can't put in the words how big his hands and his head and his neck, and he's just wide everywhere.
You can't get your hand around his hand when you shake hands.
Oh, no.
Like grabbing a ham hock. Free agent, playing like an all-pro. Chad Eaton. Second down and 10 for Bono and the Rams. Swing pass, incomplete. Israel delivers a beautifully timed breakup.
He's a good player.
He tried to get it to Az Hakim.
You know, Israel made about 4 great plays, had 1 major pass interference. But, you know, he's a gamer. He's just in the game. When guys challenge receivers, you know, you're going to get beat. You're going to have a pass interference. You're going to make great plays, too. And he's made more good plays than bad today.
Patriots, a dangerous pass defense. They're number 2 in the NFL with 21 interceptions this season. They have one today. Bono fires a strike. Beautifully done by Bono. Gunning in a first down throw to the 47-yard line. As Hakeem made that little curl move downfield, taken down quickly by Malloy, but it's 12 yards.
Well, you don't spread an offense any more than this. There are 5 wide receivers out there. Now, what they normally do is they try to blitz you out of it, but when you put 5 out there, you have to put at least 5 defenders across. I love it when they spread the defense. There's Oz, 5'10", 178 out of San Diego State. They always get good receivers there.
They do. They've had a history of fine receivers. Handoff and a big play. Henry Thomas shoots the gap. Blocked to the ground again. He swings a big left arm out and cuts the runner June Henley for no gain. 3rd and 12.
Well, it's defense time. If you want to play in the playoffs, you want to be taken seriously in the playoffs, and the New England defense has got to take over right here. Otherwise, they're just one of that lower group of people in the playoffs who are there for a moment.
Well, they're coming off their best defensive game, that one at Pittsburgh, since their playoff loss at Pittsburgh last January, when the Patriot defense was brilliant, but the offense wasn't there, and they lost 7-6. Last week, of course, they won against the Steelers with ease. Another fine defensive play as a swing pass comes in the near flat to running back June Henley, and he's quickly leveled by Willie Clay. He's been all over the field.
That's why they call him what?
Big Play Clay.
Big Play Clay.
Here, there, everywhere. Run defense. The Patriots, Buffalo got 213. Miami got almost nothing. Buffalo got 99. Pittsburgh just 54. The Bucs, well, he was in park in that game for the Steelers, and the Rams have run nowhere today. Bono. Flat pass. It's connected. With the ball is J.T. Thomas with just his 17th catch of the year. And on 3rd and 12, the Rams get a big one, a 20-yard gain and a first down.
That was special. First of all, Bono works the pocket about as good as you could do it. Watch him step up here when he feels the pressure. This is a guy coming from his backside. See him step up right there? And then it's a great throw right over the head of number 34 to Bucky Jones. What a drop right in the pocket there. That's a tough throw.
Tough throw right on the money, and the Rams drive on. Big 3rd down conversion. 1st and 10. Rams down by 1. A reverse. Hakeem, he's a flyer, and he's going to fly all the way to the end zone. "34-yard wide receiver reverse, and it's lights out." Now the Rams are setting up to go for 2 as they have taken the lead back 23-18. Looking to get a 7-point lead. Dick Vermeil going over his probability chart. Extra point doesn't help you that much. Going for 2 gets you in front by a touchdown and an extra point. Rams have done well on 2-point conversions, you see, 3 and 4. Everybody in uniform looks like ready to play wide receiver. And Bono keeps it himself. And there's no sign he got in. Now here we go. These are troubled times, the worst of times. As the officials are huddling. They don't have replay, we do, and we're going to see it a lot of different ways. Dick Vermeil knows what he thinks it is.
Well, we'll find out right here. It's a super call. Boy, it looks almost easy. Tell you, we can't tell from that.
Now,
that right there means touchdown.
Extra point, really.
When he takes that, when he takes it and sticks it over the line and breaks that plane, it's supposed to be 6, even though he fumbled later. I mean, the 2-point conversion, even though he fumbled later. Once he breaks the plane right there, it's over. It's 2 points and the play is done. That's the right call.
That's why you have to have replay. These guys have to have a chance to get a second look like the rest of the world does.
Here's the touchdown, and here's the problem is at the top of your screen. Everybody gets sucked in. Chris Slade is pushed too far out. The blocking downfield is phenomenal. That's so easy, it's silly.
So the underdog Rams battle back. Lots of good things happening at CBS Sports, including this game today. The St. Louis Rams, 3-10 in the throes of the 4-game losing streak. Rally back. They had a 17-3 lead. The Patriots took the lead 18-17. Now the Rams on a reverse to the rookie. Hakeem take the lead back and get the 2-point conversion after a brief deliberation. Here comes Derek Carr for New England. Out to the 24-yard line. Robert Holcomb brings him down. Drew Bledsoe talking to Jack Riley, who was the Ram quarterback coach for 2 years. Delph Beasley. Santa.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be nonpartisan, I thought.
First down and 10. Bledsoe airs it out. Looking at Robert Edwards, he never saw the ball. The Patriots don't play in domes that often. Drew Bledsoe is a guy, a realist. He knows when the Patriots are at the top of their game, there's nobody they can't beat. And then there's the reverse.
When we're healthy and when we play and do our things correctly, don't make mistakes, don't turn the ball over, we can play with anybody. I don't care if that's Denver, Minnesota, whoever you want to pick. We can play with anybody when we're doing things right. When we're not doing things right, we can lose to anybody.
The Patriots on opening night in Denver gave the Broncos their toughest game of this season so far until the one they're having today against the Giants. Giants leading in the third quarter 10-9 over the unbeaten Broncos. Bledsoe swept under, safety blitz. 5th sack for the Ram defense. Billy Jenkins, number 22, came on a safety blitz.
This is just an excellent game call by the coaches for the Rams. I mean, this is right up the middle, timed perfectly. Drew Bledsoe's looking downfield trying to pick a receiver, and then there comes Jenkins.
These are troubled times at the moment now for the Patriots as they have third down coming up. They need 19. And Glenn is out with a fractured ankle. Bledsoe on the run, fires. And the good thing he did not get the ball in bounds because McCleon was there to intercept. He was right in front of Tony Simmons. And now the Patriots have to punt from deep in their own end. And they're rocking here in St. Louis. Frank Gans, the special teams coach. The whole coaching staff virtually was head coaches somewhere.
Well, the star of the day in my mind is John Bunting, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. I mean, this guy has called one heck of a game.
Yes, he has. John Bunting is a linebacker, an undersized linebacker in Dick Vermeil's Super Bowl team in Philadelphia. Now,
look at this.
Tupa shanks a punt. The Rams will get the ball at the New England 32-yard line where they're spotting it right now. The punt was 17 yards. Now Tom Tupa had a punt that blew up on him. It's officially 18 yards where it went out of bounds. And it's at the 33-yard line of New England. And so the Rams go on offense with a 7-point lead. First down and 10. Pete Carroll's defense up against it now. Rams with 25 points, the most they've scored through 3 quarters all season. Oh no, play fake and buys time, throws to an open man. And the pass is completed inside the 25-yard line to Ricky Prohl as now we go back to Jim Nantz in New York. Jim?
All right, Don, you've got a stunner there. And how about at the Meadowlands? The Giants against unbeaten Denver, and Gary Brown goes over 100 yards on the day. This 35-yard burst sets up a Brad Daloiso field goal. They're up 4 with 7:26 remaining. Now let's go back to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Go
Man.
Giants.
That's one.
Go Giants. Those are my boys.
Had 9 picks for them one year. Very nicely done. Here now is a Bono trying to get timeout call before the clock ran out. And they'll take a break here at St. Louis at the Rams World Dome. Telling us yesterday that our defense has been held hostage by the offense not scoring any points, but today they've been scoring. Look at that disparity in the offense of the Patriots. 197 yards rushing. That's a month's worth lately. As Robert Edwards having a career day, but the Patriots trail the Rams, and here's an out pattern. And Kroll was running an in pattern, so it's 2nd and 10.
Well, they need to leave Ty Law alone. He leads the National Football League in interceptions. He's the very best out there. And boy, he was draped over Kroll like a winter jacket.
Law with 8 interceptions, and he improved his play by coming here to St. Louis to work with Bob Kersey.
It's unbelievable. This Bob Kersey, you know, Gail Devers, Jackie Joyner Kersey, he comes and he trains with them. I asked him who was faster, Gail Devers or himself. He wouldn't answer.
All he said was he squats 400 pounds, I squat 250. Bono looks, he throws, he's got a man. Hakeem. Last time he had the ball, you remember he was in the end zone on that end around, that reverse. This is a 15-yard gainer. And the Rams, the underdogs, drive on 1st and goal.
This kid's going to be a star, Don. Watch what he does as he catches the ball. He's making a move while he's catching. Not only did he turn Israel around, but you see him catching, thinking of what dipsy doodle I'm going to throw down on the corner as I catch the ball. You have to have very good vision, very good hands to do that.
Spot him down, those linesmen, with a careful eye.
June told me yesterday, he said, I'm a power runner. I have a little shake. At the end, I'm going to use power. And boy, you saw an example of it there.
Oh, he's getting over 4 yards a rush. He's got 12 carries, 50 yards, and he's been in the end zone once.
He's working it here. This is a nice cutback, very good decisions. And then watch him just drop his head and drill the defender at the end of this play.
And there's now a linebacker injured. Todd Collins is down at the 17-yard line. Another starter down. Terry Glenn with a fractured ankle, wide receiver for New England. Quarterback Tony Banks of the Rams went out in the first half with a ruptured knee ligament.
Well, this is like a small-scale skirmish.
There is the best defender for the Patriots, middle linebacker Ted Johnson, out for the season, suffering that ripped bicep last week trying to tackle Jerome Bettis. He'll not be back. He won't even be using that arm to lift weights for another 4 months.
Let me tell you something about that torn bicep. This is a new injury in the NFL. In my day, you didn't see that injury. These guys are so strong today that the muscle will not give up. You know, the tendon, those things snap based on the torque, the pressure placed on the muscle. But these guys are just, they bench press and lift so strong today that that's a weird new injury in the NFL.
Up to 18. Hakeem, a 4th-round draft choice, having a big day. And Collins now goes off slowly, so he looks to be very limited and unlikely to be back.
When you're with your golf coming up after the game, watch the Tiger Woods Greg Norman match. Just a viewing tip.
A lot of good ones there. In this game, it's going to take an all-out Drew Bledsoe effort. He's going to have the full bag of passing tricks to get this game pulled out if they score here. Even if they don't. Over the top, June Henley. He's got hops. And he's in. Dupa shakes his head after his shanked 18-yard punt. Set the St. Louis Rams up in very good field position. And Dick Vermeil, man, he's churning Dick Vermeil. He's emotional if it's the first day of practice. let alone game day.
Yeah, no, he'll cry in a minute. There's no one more emotional than Dick Vermeil. Take a look at June Henley. Playing against his brother. Goes up and over with ease. His brother Terry Glenn of New England.
Terry Glenn, after he lost his mom, was taken in by the Henley family, Charles and Mary. And he and June Henley grew up together for 12 years in Columbus, Ohio. Played high school football together. And today oppose each other for the first time. June Henley making his first start with his first 2 NFL touchdowns. And the Rams build their lead to 14.
Now we asked June, who are your parents going to be rooting for with both of their sons in the game? Mom says, well, son, I'd kind of like to go to the playoffs. So she's rooting for New England. Look at the ups on little June. Look at little June Henley fly. Oh, you know what? I told him to work on his dance. Oh, June. He told me he was working on his touchdown dance and that he was going to have something to show me. Oh, boy. These youngsters today. We'll have to work on the dance.
Pressure builds on New England. In a sense, the playoff season is underway in the AFC East. You might not be able to afford another loss. Who knows? The Patriots at the outset of the day were in position, if they won today, to possibly clinch a playoff spot today if 3 other teams lost. But now the Patriots see their 3-game losing streak in great jeopardy as they're down by 14.
Well, this final 4th quarter is the season for New England. That's what it breaks down to. They've got to get this one. They play San Francisco, then the Jets after this.
That's right. 2 tough ones.
This quarter is the season.
Wilkins, well, we still got a few seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 36 seconds to play. And then we'll see what the Patriots can rally now as they send out Drew Bledsoe. That's how it breaks down. A win today and losses by Oakland. Well, they're having trouble at Buffalo. Pittsburgh having trouble. Tennessee tied. Oakland, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee lose, and the Patriots should somehow win. But that, at the moment, seemed unlikely to us at the outset. This Ram team was ready. This is a team, despite 3 wins, that buried the Jets here. Beat the Bills at Buffalo. Vikings escape with a narrow win in their uniform in the last-second touchdown.
They can't block them anymore.
As the Ram pass rush is unrelenting. That time it was the ex-Patriot Mike Jones coming from defensive end.
Well, big number 90 coming right at. What a quick move. This is the second time he's done this. This guy is killing the offensive line of the New England Patriots with quick first step movement.
Chad Eaton was telling us yesterday there's been a surge of confidence in the Patriot team. Well, there's been one today for the Rams. There's a lot of talent on the field for St. Louis. You already know there is for New England. Robert Edwards. They slammed the door on Robert on a 2nd down and 10 play. And again, the pressure's on Bledsoe. 3rd and long.
In many ways, quarterbacks are judged by 4th quarter comebacks. Now, Drew has proven a lot over the last 3 weeks. 3 wins in a row, getting his team back in playoff position. Now he's got to do it again. He said this is the situation you live for. He's dreamed of winning games through adversity and coming back since he was in the 8th grade. He gets his chance today.
It's the end of the 3rd quarter. Rams lead at 32-18. Now this from your. We're ready now for the start of the 4th quarter. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. Patriots up against it and against the underdog Rams. New England down by 14. As we start the 4th quarter, Bledsoe throws and makes a connection to the rookie. Tony Simmons angling off the flank. Taken down by Todd Light.
Well, that was all Bledsoe and sight adjustment. It wasn't enough for the first down, but there was a defensive lineman that slapped Bledsoe on the shoulder as he released that ball.
Yard short of it. Tupa last week might have made the play of the game when he boomed a 63-yard punt against the Steelers from his own end zone when the Patriots were struggling. And today his last punt, you remember, was the 18-yard shank. And shortly after it, the Rams were in the end zone to build their 2-touchdown lead. Now he booms one downfield. One of the NFL's best punters. Backpedaling is Eddie Kennison. He hits again. Tupa's got an angle. And Tupa slams him out of bounds. the 45-yard line as a couple of people are down on the field. Major collisions. A 60-yard punt by Tupa. The Rams assured their 9th or their 10th straight losing season. They've lost 11 of their last 12 home games have these Rams, but they lead by 14 today. As they try to go to the run, not much happening. Patriots quickly shut it down. June Henley on the carry. Chad Eaton on the stop.
2nd and 8 for the 46.
And a troubled season for the Rams, and their difficulties compounded today by the loss of starting quarterback Tony Banks with a serious knee injury. Went out in the first half after playing so well.
Steve Bono has been brilliant.
Yes, he's played terrific football. Second and 8. Bledsoe goes to blitz, but they pick him up. June Henley breaks a tackle and gets down to the 47-yard line of the Patriots. Bledsoe on the stop.
June is an excellent effort runner. Boy, I tell you, it's not a lot of flash, it's not a lot of sizzle there, but boy, there's a lot of effort. He just turned it up in there and just stuck it in there.
Free agent runner from the University of Kansas. Giants continuing to lead the unbeaten Denver Broncos with about 2 minutes left in that game. With a 14-point lead, the Rams with a rare luxury on offense, looking just to run some clock Beasley. Usually they're firing it all over the field to try to get back in the game.
I think Steve Bono has been brilliant. The Rams had an excellent offensive game plan coming into this football game. Tony Banks was off to a great start.
The Rams feeling the power here at home. They've been booed roundly this season. Been easy for them to play on the road, but today there's been one standing ovation after another at the Trans World Dome as the Rams lead the favored Patriots in the fourth quarter. Henry, 3rd and short. He gets close. He might have it. He needed to get to the 46-yard line. Chris Slade upended him. Big factor in this game, and pass rusher Kevin Carter said it yesterday, Beasley, that Bledsoe holds the ball a long time. We think we can get to him, and they sacked Bledsoe 4 times, and they sacked Zolak once, did the Rams, while he was in there. 5 sacks for St. Louis.
You know, he held it a long time. He had a long time to hold it. It was excellent coverage by the Rams back in the secondary. So, I mean, that credit goes across the board. Good coverage and a pass rush that finally got there because they were given time.
Bono lobs it out there, and his backpedaling tight end can't get to the ball. I.J. Armstrong. Second down comes up, 2nd down and 10. One of the problems Vermeil's had at St. Louis is, he put so much emphasis into that one draft, getting Lawrence Phillips, the troubled runner from Nebraska, with the 6th pick overall. Tried to play Father Flanagan to him. It didn't work out, and he's out of football now, Lawrence Phillips, but he's had good luck with some free agents like Ethan Brooks, a young offensive lineman from the great program at Williams College in Williamstown, Mass, who Vermeil told us yesterday could turn into a star guard. And another tremendous young player for Division III school, John Carroll, one of his co-captains today, London Fletcher. So they've been doing better in the free agent market than with some of their high draft choices.
Oh, Ampley's laughing because the shuffle pass was a miserable disaster. Well, it worked one time in the game. They tried again. Amp takes his eye off the ball. The ball is like between his legs. He almost dropped it. The Rams are very lucky there not to have fumbled. See, I don't know about that play. You have a big lead. I don't know about these dangerous plays when you've got a lead.
He's going to look for another one. You might have said so. He can't. He was in position to intercept to Bucky Jones, except in the experienced quarterback threw it out of bounds. Big rush put out on a blitz by Lawyer Malloy. Best blitzing defensive back that ever played in this town. Hall of Famer Larry Wilson.
He was a good one.
Oh,
Great timing.
never saw a safety that could dominate a game other than him. That's when they were the Cardinals, who are now in Arizona.
Tootin looks like a muscle builder, doesn't it?
Here's a punt hit downfield. Rick Tootin, a high punt. Bearcat signal for and made. That was a London Fletcher, one of the free agents we were talking about. 59. He was right there to make the kill if he hadn't a fair caught it.
We have a problem.
Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
A hold is signaled.
Holding
The return team.
number 21 of the receiving team. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
So a bad situation gets worse for the Patriots, down by 14. They're now back way deep in their own end. Back to St. Louis, where the Patriots need big plays and a lot of them. Bledsoe throwing a catch to Sean Jefferson. But for the most part, the Patriot passing game has been very low production today, under 100 yards, believe it or not, when they've been averaging over 330 yards in the recent games. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. Maybe as bad as this defeat, if they do go on to lose, is the loss of Terry Glenn.
Well, you know, statistics show that when he is in the game, they win. When he's not in the game, they struggle. So that is devastating. I mean, this team knows that, and it's like their emotional level went down once he got hurt.
Yeah, it did. There's no question. Glenn went out with a fractured ankle. Patriots go to the run on a first down play as the clock still shows 10:15 to go. Look at there's Drew Bledsoe. Last 3 games averaging 332 yards, 97 yards today. Ram defense, there's nothing 3-10 about this defense. 5 sacks for the Patriots so far. Throwing a catch. First down, Patriots out to the 32-yard line. Sean Jefferson comes down with the ball on a 12-yard gain.
See, once again, when Drew Bledsoe lets this ball go, there's a defensive lineman tapping him on his shoulder. I mean, the guy has no chance. I mean, you know, he makes a nice throw here. But he makes it under duress, believe me. Now, every play, this is the way it is for Drew. As he throws, there are people tapping at him, swinging at him, grabbing at his ankle, the left foot somebody's holding right there. It's hard to play football like that.
They're on him. He doesn't have time to look downfield long. Jerry Austin starts the clock. You know, one thing to be said about the officials have been under fire, but these officials, every one of them, is selected from among the best college officials. They're scouted for a long time. And the best of the college officials come to the NFL. They have to be supported by replay. Bledsoe tries to dump it off as the heat is on again. Non-stop pressure. DeMarco Farr was coming hard. Defensive tackle.
Look, here's the bottom line of this second half of this football game. The Rams defensive line whipped the offensive line of the New England Patriots. That's holding that they get away with. Drew has no chance. The offensive line is getting spanked.
Denver had the ball, trailing the Giants by 4 with 37 seconds left. With Elway, the Giants could be in trouble. You never know. Bledsoe stands in, fires. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. As Troy Brown was looking for a flag, and so was Bledsoe, but they ruled the coverage was clean.
The Giants just took the lead over Denver 20-16 with 30 seconds left. No one goes undefeated in this league.
Not in a while.
Watch Elway come back.
Oh yeah, he's finished when you got him on the ground and are sitting on him. He's on his feet with possession of the ball. Tupa hunts again, booms it downfield. Kennison Near side, and he's going to step on there. He's going to keep it in bounds in his wisdom and get to the 46-yard line. Becker. Well, the Rams, destined for another losing season, but in a sense, they're going to win the AFC East after this game. They'll be 3-1, and they've beaten 3 teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs: Jets, Buffalo, and Patriots. Oh, there's a good-looking throw. You've been extolling the passing of Steve Bono. That might be one of his best.
Well, he's been beautiful.
Now they're going to wave it off. They rule the ball skipped out of Ricky Proehl's hands.
Well, the only problems that Bono's had today is dropping the football, but the guy hasn't played all season, so you have to understand he's going to be a little rusty in some areas, but by and large, he has come in relief and been excellent. Why is that not a catch?
Well, it was kind of rolling around there.
Okay, I thought he slid to the ground before he came out.
Rams not protesting too much, not with a 14-point lead, 32-18. A wild game. The underdog Rams built a 17-3 lead on the Patriots in the second quarter. New England came back on Adam Vinatieri's 4th field goal to take an 18-17 lead. Rams then rallied and came back hard. Now they go to the run as the clock ticks down to 8:52 to play.
That's a lot of time. But it's going to take a defensive turnover. I mean, there's no reason to sense that the momentum swing has changed from the Rams to New England. There's no reason to feel that way. Drew Bledsoe has no time to throw. It's official, Don. The Giants beat Denver 20-16. The final unbeaten team has fallen.
Folks at ABC have to be kept off of high buildings. Here's a throw in the flat as the Broncos were next heading to Miami on a Monday night game.
Oh, and they thought that was just going to.
Oh yeah, that was going to be.
Oh, I feel so bad for them.
The unbeaten team against the team that had the only unbeaten record.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
JT Thomas makes the catch. It's short of the first down, and now the Rams will punt the ball. Bill George, our CBS statistician, totaling the numbers, and the Rams have put up some impressive numbers on defense.
I feel so bad for Boomer Esiason.
Here's a punt hit downfield. Well, this guy can put a charge into it. Rick Tootin, Rootin' Tootin as they call him, as he booms it into the end zone and out the back for a touchback. 50-yard punt, 30-yard net. The Broncos have lost, and the Patriots are about to, unless they can rally. The Patriots break the huddle. First down at their 20-yard line. Clock shows 7:22 to play. A most dangerous game at the outset. It's proven to be that. A Ram team angry. There's a long ball. Sean Jefferson. He's got it down to the 31-yard line. Still a lot of time left, but the Patriots need 2 scores just to get it to overtime, and barring a 2-point conversion that's successful.
Give Drew Bledsoe time, and this is what he can do. Now this time they actually picked up the blocking. They picked up the blocking. It was a double move by Sean Jefferson, and that's what teams do when they need to get a big chunk. Terrific throw.
50-yard game, but they got to keep pitching to the Patriots. 6:48 to go. Bledsoe fires, and he throws it away as he was very nearly sacked for the 5th time. It would be the 6th sack of the day for the Ram defense. Marco Farr was the guy putting the pressure on Drew Bledsoe of the Patriots. The good old days. In '89, the Rams were a playoff team. Here they are against the Patriots. The Los Angeles Rams beating New England 24-20. The Rams have not had a winning season in the decade of the 90s. Not since '89, and that, not coincidentally, was their last playoff team, '89. Bledsoe throws. He's got a man. Screened away from the ball. Beautifully done by Dexter McCleon, a backup corner coming in as a nickelback. Grant Wistrom, the rookie from Nebraska, again putting the pressure on Drew Bledsoe.
Well, there's nothing to say about the coverage but perfection.
That was
Put
really
himself,
good.
yeah, in between the ball and the receiver. Look at it. Top of your screen. Turns the shoulder in. Good position.
down in the backfield, right where Drew Bledsoe threw the ball. The Rams are signaling a hold, but we'll wait for Jerry Austin to tell us what it is. And there's also a penalty marker down way downfield inside the 20-yard line. Bledsoe going to Lovett Purnell. They might have gone to the face of Bledsoe. The umpire signaling. Well, we'll see. Stops the clock with 6:29 to play.
We have 2 fouls on the defense.
2 on the
Of
defense.
illegal use of hands to the face. Number 98 of the defense. 5
Whisper.
yards, automatic first down. But illegal contact by number 21, that penalty is going to be declined. First down.
Wow.
It was for you, Pete. You got one.
He's got the. You could have an outtakes program of his emotional looks from the sideline.
Yeah, he's been up and through it all. I mean, Terry Glenn, who has just been a superb player. The whole face of the game changes when Terry Glenn's on the field as wide receiver. He's gone now. We don't know for how long after suffering a fractured ankle. Bledsoe rising to heroic levels with the injured finger in the recent weeks. His passing effectiveness actually rose after he suffered the fractured finger.
I'm sorry, I'm his first.
Today it's been down somewhat, but there's time. Bledsoe stands in, lets it go into the end zone, and Sean Jefferson turns out at the ball, but it's a bit too far out for him to get to it. Washington's starting to come on as they win today, their 5th win. Ball position at the 25-yard line.
Well, you got to look for throws into the end zone. You have to look for double moves from the wide receiver out and goes, slant and goes.
Bledsoe waits, fires on the run. It's almost picked by Todd Light.
DeMarco Farr has been the player of the game.
Yeah, he's just a.
Now let me just put that out there.
He's really a force, isn't he?
You know, people want to look at all the running backs and quarterbacks. DeMarco Farr has been the player of the game. The pressure has been relentless. He's been unblockable. Look, there's 2 people on DeMarco. They double-teamed him that time. What great effort.
Well, the ball ends up running after him. Zephros Moss has done a rather good job on the pass rusher Kevin Carter. Bledsoe, here's a safety blitz. Bledsoe throws, and it's caught by Lovett Purnell for a first down. On 3rd down and 10, the Patriots get 11. And they're not gone yet. 6 minutes to play and the clock runs.
And Billy Jenkins was in perfect position. He simply missed the ball.
Bledsoe in the shotgun. Rams have been counting with blitzes. I mean, blitzes everything in the blitz book is there. There's another completion. And it's down to the 8-yard line. A gain on the play of about 7. Lovett Purnell makes the catch. The man standing in for Ben Coates, who is unfortunately home to attend the funeral of his mother, who passed away during the past week. The Patriots' #1 receiver, Ben with 62 catches this year. Derek Cullers runs, and he gets down to the 6-yard line. Looking to get the Rams in an all-out rush.
Well, basically, the Rams want to slow this thing down. You know, they don't mind them scoring. They just like to score, for them to score like a minute or 2 from now.
Bledsoe seemingly operating at his leisure now. Now he goes quickly into a huddle. Game clock inside 5 minutes to play. All out, look at this blitz. Bledsoe couldn't see anything but a wave of blue and yellow coming at him. Todd Light was the closest to the ball as he shot it in the direction did Drew Bledsoe of Troy Brown.
Well, you know, the rush has been just Bledsoe has been. This guy's going to have nightmares behind this game. Just take a look at the rush. Roll it, guys. I mean, they hit it from all angles. You know, you got guys coming clean, like they call it a jailbreak.
4th down. They need 2 for a first down. Bledsoe buys time. He gets away. throws. It's incomplete. The Rams take over the ball. He was shooting at Tony Simmons. Dexter McCleon is the guy that broke it up. Team doctor helping Drew Bledsoe up.
Well, DeMarco Farr that I talked about a few minutes ago almost killed Drew Bledsoe. Just look at the rush. Focus on the defensive lineman. I mean, this effort, talking about flushing the guy out of the pocket. Now watch number 75. Keep your eye on him. And this is just a running smush from a 310-pound man. Look at all of that football player on top. Wow.
Somebody said the wrong thing to DeMarco Farr today.
He's been awesome today.
And he has absolutely ignited this defense. Now the Rams holding to a 14-point lead with 4:33 left to go. Setting a power offense, one wide receiver, just run the ball and run clock. Drew Bledsoe on the sideline. He looks to be all right. He's had a tough day. You remember he went out in the first half to have his injured throwing hand re-x-rayed, re-examined. He came back in.
Well, you know, you say, okay, look at the guy. He looks woozy here.
Yeah.
I mean, his eyes are going in the back of his head. The doctors need to be standing with Drew right now.
He's on his feet. Look at the sack 4 times. But Zolak was also sacked once. 5 sacks for the Rams. Hurries 14. Sometimes they're more valuable than sacks because they lead to picks.
Yeah, and those knockdowns, that 6 knockdown. So you know, these quarterbacks, Bledsoe has taken a pounding today.
So maybe the Rams' problem is they're in the wrong division. I mean, they blasted the Jets here. They're doing that to the Patriots. They've beaten the Bills at Buffalo.
I'm telling you, Drew Bledsoe is at the other end of the field by himself. He's almost walking on the field. They need to take a look at the guy. I'm telling you.
Hey, he was shaken up. There's no question. That hard tackle by DeMarco Farr. Hand off to Henley. Big thing now for the Ram runners is to protect the ball as the clock winds down to 4:20 to play.
Drew Bledsoe has been walking around in a small circle down there by himself. At one point, almost walking onto the football field.
Mr. Irrelevant on the field for the Patriots. He's going to have a big role in these last 2 important games. Marty Moore, the injury to Todd Collins today, and then he came back. Collins did. Guinness out. Ted Johnson out for the season. Mr. Irrelevant is still here. Marty Moore.
Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
The final selection in the 59th annual draft from New England, Marty Moore.
Quarterback shaken, not stirred.
There you have it. But the quarterback who's been shaken and also stirred is Drew Bledsoe. Runs to the 15-yard line on 3rd down and 6. He didn't get there. Lots of big things happening. Let's go back to New York and to Jim Nantz. Jim.
All right, Donna Beasley, the perfect season is over. The Giants pull off the upset of the year. Kent Graham in the final minute going to Amani Toomer. And after a delay, rule the touchdown. Rule the touchdown, and the Giants hand Denver its first loss of the year. Let's go back to Donna Beasley.
Can you believe it?
Can you top this in this league?
Wow. That's fantastic.
Half of the Broncos it isn't.
Well, it's fantastic for my Giants.
4th down and 1 is coming up now for the St. Louis Rams as Marty Moore, the last player drafted. He said he was waiting for the draft, waiting for it. Saw his name, and immediately following it was the NFL draft concludes on ESPN. That was the next thing came up after his name. Booming it downfield. Line drive punt by Tootin. Chris Canty looking for a gap, and he's finally taken down at the 38-yard line.
I cannot tell you how hard these guys are hitting.
Oh, it's unbelievable. CBS. While we have a moment, we tell you that the executive producer of CBS Sports is Terry Ewert. The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Larry Cavallina. Today's game was produced by Al Szymanski, directed by J.D. Hansen. Technical director Colby Bourgeois. Associate director Diane Patterson. Broadcast associate Ryan Galvin. Technical manager Rick Godwin. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Bob Matina. As the Patriots now try to make something happen. Down by 2 touchdowns with 4:01 to play. Long ball. Troy Brown. And he got blasted as he had the ball touch his hands. Billy Jenkins, a strong safety, came over.
Well, that's great safety play, Don.
He's a hitting son of a gun, this Billy Jenkins.
Todd Light is in great position, but a real good safety gets such a break on the ball that he can assist. That's what you call participation from Mr. Jenkins, number 22. This is what you call involvement.
Yeah, that's real involvement. You hear all these reports coming in about dissension in St. Louis and problems. We didn't sense that one iota meeting with these guys yesterday.
And you look out here to what the effort they're giving playing has been exemplary.
In the flat, came in low, came in incomplete. Todd Light right on the play again as the ball went to Troy Brown.
Once again, Don, the defensive line of the Rams, all about the feet of Drew Bledsoe. That's disconcerting. You can't be comfortable when this is happening. People falling around your knees and your legs.
Man, we don't.
And look at DeMarco Farr just fly. Let him know I'm here. I was right here.
Drew Bledsoe making his 58th consecutive start here. That's up for grabs. Troy Brown came back and almost got it. 58th consecutive start, but there was a serious concern for Bledsoe when he trotted off the field to have his throwing hand x-rayed. And then they readjusted that trigger finger. You don't know how he's even taking snaps with that hand. He can't bend the finger much.
No. He has.
The worst thing he can do is straighten it out. That's what they really don't want to do.
No, they don't want to straighten out.
4th down. Bledsoe fires, incomplete. Shooting at Troy Brown on 4th down and 10. The Patriots don't get there. Todd Light again breaks it up. 9-year player from Notre Dame, a high #1 draft choice when he came out. He looks the part of an All-Pro.
I've got his secret. I worked out with him Saturday morning after we met with the Rams. He goes to, I won't give up where he goes, but he gets a nice whirlpool, a deep tissue massage, and spends the day relaxing, reflecting on what he's going to do on Sunday.
Well, he had good thoughts. I mean, he
good life.
Thought it out well.
It's like being a Roman warrior. Hard pampered. Add a few grapes in, eat a few grapes. And
I tell you, this Patriot defense now just has to keep attacking the line of scrimmage and try to knock the ball free from the Ram runners. Boy, they're making hits. And have a break again gives us a chance to go back to Jim in New York.
Well, Don, the Tennessee Oilers were down 10-0 early today, but here it is, seconds to go. Del Greco with the winning field goal, and the Oilers with another upset here on Upset Sunday. Let's go back to you.
Unbelievable. Man.
It's only upset if you don't call it. Now, of course, on my local program in Philadelphia, I call this play.
Hey, there's so much balance. I mean, you don't want to play this Ram team.
No, you don't.
I know you don't want to play the Colts, and they're winning. They're just their 3rd game today. Handoff. Henley runs, and he gets inside the 35-yard line on a 2nd down carry. Brings up 3rd down. New England's out of timeouts. So the Rams, a team under fire, a team roundly booed in this building, a team whose head coach, Dick Vermeil, they were talking about he's too old, 15 years away from the game. He lost it. Well, apparently he found it because these guys were really ready to play today in every aspect of the game. There's Mike White on the left, former head coach of the Raiders.
It's been a crazy team. They go loose. go lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, come back and beat the New England Patriots.
Jim Hannafin, who was the head coach, his line coach. Henley fighting to stay in bounds. He goes out of bounds, but he gets ahead for a first down on a 9-yard run. So now for the Patriots, you've got to think about getting people well and getting ready for the 49ers, who come into Foxborough next week. The AFC playoff picture, Jacksonville loses today. They have not clinched, believe it or not, even with a 10-4 record. How about the Bills? What a comeback story with Doug Flutie, doing commercials, winning games. Blow out the Raiders today to go to 9-5. This is a team, you remember, that lost its first 3 games, including one to the Rams.
Hey.
Bono downing the ball. Has the dramatic comeback by the Patriots when they rallied from a 17-3 deficit to take an 18-17 lead, and then the Rams kicked in again, scored 2 touchdowns, and put the game away. Bledsoe completed only 2 of his last 14 passes. Pete Carroll and his Patriots still very much in the playoff picture, but the pressure builds against the 2 winning teams they have to face to conclude regular season play.
Drew Bledsoe had those problems because the rush of the Rams was relentless, was impressive.
And Bono and the Rams again down the ball. The Patriots powerless to stop the clock. So the Rams get their 4th win today. 3 of them against AFC Eastern, quite possibly playoff teams. The Bills, the Jets, and now the Patriots. Marco Farr and Dick Vermeil. Talking about the tough week Dick Vermeil's had. I mean, these guys they've sweated bullets here trying to get ready for this game.
What's the tough season done? You know, Greg Hill lost. Isaac Bruce, who they say might be the best receiver around.
Yeah,
they just glow about the guy's ability. This team lost a lot of players.
Upset Sunday continues as the Patriots, sportsmen of the hour, congratulate the winners. A great victory for the Rams. They'll not go to the playoffs, but they certainly have something to build on with these 3 wins this season against AFC Eastern teams. Their 4th win of the year. Now Pete Carroll, he can't wait to get back on the plane and start looking at tape of his old club, the 49ers. He's got them next. Dick Vermeil. Big win for Dick Vermeil.
Well, you know he's going to cry now. He'll cry in a minute.
Well, you might think he might want to smile a little bit. A couple of the QBs talk things over. Special thanks to our CBS statistician Bill George and to spotters Maurice Scott and Jeff Waldman. Once again, the final score, the Rams 32, the Patriots 18. Now stay tuned for all the early scores on the NFL Today postgame report. Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui saying so long from St. Louis. This has been a presentation of